Hey guys,
Harry.
we're back. It's Friday afternoon. Thank God it's Friday. That's what I'm going to say.
And Harry, wait, I got to say this thing, Harry. Right? How long have you been doing this?
3 years.
How long have you been doing this YouTube? 3 years, bro. Get an intro.
No, I did have an intro, but
get TJ to do an intro, bro.
What?
Or
Him
Elijah.
turning up. Yeah.
Oh, naked TJ. We want naked TJ.
But no, I
did
have one, but I don't use it because of certain reasons. But anyway,
copyright reasons, right? Couldn't get a simple one.
No, yeah. Anyway, but I meant a certain person created it, so I can't use it. I don't want to use it anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll tell.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, now I remember. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm just guessing, but we'll talk about it in the back room later. All right, but all right, let's get back to the football, guys. Right, back to the Spurs. The meltdown has started. The defense has started. Right, the Bayern game. Right, the one. We are shit. It's preseason. We are shit. Right, and I'm saying, I do watch-alongs, guy, and half of one part of the game I was sitting there, right, especially when we were defending, right. I said they're cutting through us like butter. It reminds me of Ange ball. Okay, the Bayern game. I did watch along. I'm sure Harry watched it too, right? I did a watch along, right? I seen these two things. Number one, our set play defensive work has improved a lot. Much more composed. We get to the ball first. I think that's the focus and attentiveness that's been coached into them. And the other thing is that is one positive sign, right? The next thing, when we play the high press and when we lose the ball, right, it goes back to Ange ball. We're all over the place again. The whites are open, right? And the players are just running through us, just sweep right through us from the wings. We keep losing out in the wings again. So it reminds me a lot of Ange ball, right? So I don't know. Let's hope this is the last time we see this type of football being played by us again, right? And Frank, you better coach that out of those idiots when they're being attacked, when you are pressing up and playing that front foot, or unless we can't do it, don't do it, right? Until you get the proper players in, bro, right? The Bayern game. If you want to say the Bayern game, the Luton game, the Reading game, the Wigan game, right? It all has its purposes. Is to let players go out. We've culled, I think, 40% of the players. I think we left about 40% or 40% players. The youngsters are all out, right? And that day on the bench, I saw only 9 subs, guys. There weren't the Lancashires weren't there, the Ajayi weren't there, the Olasessis weren't there. And that was a call, I don't know, wake-up call or something, right? Is
we've been loaned out. Lancashire went
is that a sign? Is it a good sign that we're going to bring in, top quality players to fill up those spots? Or is it one of those, Tottenham Hotspur? And I don't want to say the word Spursy again ever in this season. When the season starts, I don't want to say the word Spursy because I believe we beat Manchester United in this cup, right? This one, right there, where Son kissing it. You see, Sonny's not here. I'm going to still use this, right? Because, we'll talk about Sonny later. This cup.
DJ, How you guys been, man? Man's at work right now, innit? I'm going to be here for like 5 minutes, innit? Just to give my 2 pence,
All right, go ahead.
Cool. Look. Like, Levy says he wants to win the title, wants to win, wants to be that team in it. If we don't sign we need a attacking midfielder and a winger. There's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. That Bayern game showed us how far we are from where we need to become. Do you get where I'm coming from? And even that, Bayern is not even one of the best teams in Europe. If you really want to challenge and be the best of the best, you need to look to strive to be like I'll give you a good example, a Liverpool, a Man City, a Real Madrid. We're far from that. If Levy needs to take his hands out of his arse and put the cash down. It's straightforward, bro. Look, what's stopping us from getting Eze? What's stopping us from getting Eze?
I
Bro,
don't know. They
money
say he
talks,
doesn't
man.
want to come, right?
Money talks, man. We had this discussion many times. Listen, if Crystal Palace wants, 68 million, 70 million, you put it down. If Arsenal's put down 68 million, you put down 70 million. We definitely need an attacking midfielder. Kulusevski is out until forever. Maddison is out until forever. We don't have no attacking midfielders right now. And our winger situation is the most frustrating thing ever. You got Johnson, the hologram, bro. What does he actually offer?
Brenda,
No, on a serious note, what does he actually offer?
the shot
Nothing.
on goal, right? You know, the shot on goal.
And look, you know me, I don't like to watch Tottenham lose, and I only watched the first half of the game, and the first half pissed me off so much, and I turned off within 20 minutes. I didn't actually see the third, the fourth, the fifth. Man, I wasn't planning to sit and watch my team get smoked.
Well, I turned it off after 3-0. I turned it off.
What are we actually doing, my brother? What are we actually doing?
I was doing the watch along, bro. I watched the whole thing through, right? And I saw Ange ball in there, bro. It's scary.
Ange ball?
Yeah.
There was no Ange ball, man. At least Ange is attacking. This was defensive, shambolic. At least Ange was attacking.
No, I know. But I saw Ange ball to the part that we don't attack, right? But whenever we press them and then when we carry the ball out, we lose the ball, right? And they attack us, right? And it's like they're cutting us like through butter. It's like in-game play, right? Our defense is a shamble. Set pieces and organization, you know, set piece plays, right? We are much more organized. So let's hope we can transfer that into the in-game play. Because when we are losing the ball all this time, right, we don't know what to do. We're looking like headless chickens again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. All I know is
what are we actually doing? We should, after that game, I should have heard, here we go, Tottenham splashed the cash, Tottenham have put the money down. Look, I'm not a big fan of Rodrigo, but personally, I'll be so honest, innit? But I will totally understand if I heard, Tottenham has submitted a bid for this player. Even if it was for 80 million, 90 million, we're not even looking to buy players right now, man. We're 1 week until the season starts. Nice. I'm not even thinking about that PSG game because I've already wrote that off. There's no chance. If we couldn't, and I'm not saying we're looking to beat.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Put the link in the chat. What is going on? Woo.
Yeah, I'm not even saying like we were gonna beat Bayern Munich, but we couldn't even lose respectfully. Do you get where I'm coming from? That game could have been 6, 7, 8 now.
TJ, number one, like I said before, right? This is pre-season, right? The big.
I don't give a damn. No, but pre-season tells us everything. This is what I was saying about Frank. I didn't want Frank. I told you this already, man. Bro. Maybe I'm the only fan that said it. I didn't want Frank.
Do you think we'd be better under Ange? I think we'd scored even more.
100. No, I think let me be honest with you, yeah. Look, it's not about the buying. It's not about the buying game. Let me make it clear. I'm frustrated that we are not even backing Frank.
Yeah, that's leaving.
We're starting. And you know what, yeah? I'll be honest with you, yeah. At least we saw 2 seasons of what Ange was capable of doing, right? Who says 3 seasons into this build we might have gotten better? One bad season. The first season was terrible. The second season we won the cup, right? Well, the first season was respectable. Let's be honest with you. We finished 5th, right? I keep saying this. It was respectable, right? The second season we won a cup, right? Who knew what would happen the next season? I'm just frustrated that Frank has only signed one player. Let's be honest here.
No,
Let's
but
be
okay,
honest.
TJ, you can't blame Frank too, right? That's why I'm saying this is all overreaction. We know what our club does, right? This is not the first time you've seen them do it, overreacting again. All we need to do now is very simple. There are 24 days, right, to the close of the window. We're already 15 days late in this because, to tell the truth, we should have gotten in our players, and teams like Liverpool and Man City and all that, they've got their players out there drilling, right? Called training, understanding each other, getting more time with each other, right? And they're gonna come as a unit. I don't know. We've seen Arsenal and Liverpool play their friendlies and all that. They've lost games too. You get what I'm saying? It's preseason. We don't mind losing the games, but at this moment in time, our fan base needs to calm down a bit, right? And the tests will really come in during that PSG game, right? If Ange knows what to do, if he plays the way that he played against Arsenal, maybe we can't play all out attacking football, because I think after those 4 years under Mourinho, Nuno, and Conte, right, we've actually got a team of, how would you say, counter-attacking footballers in our squad. So we need to blood that, and most of them are gone, but some of them are still here. So now it's for Frank to understand what kind of players that he can use and what kind of players he can't use. And the sad part is that he doesn't have much choices. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't have much choices. We know our squad quality, how good they are. Last season, of course, is last season. You want to say that whether I wanted Ange to stay, and between the Frank and Ange thing, it's over. We can't go back, right? We can't reverse this. All I can say at the moment is just sit back and understand what's going to happen. If we don't sign anyone, I don't think we won't sign anyone, especially
We
now.
need to, man. That's not acceptable. That's not good enough.
All the social, social media, YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, right? All of us can see our weaknesses, and the noise is out there. I'm sure we will sign someone before the close of the window. We've been here before, bro. Right?
We need a winger. We definitely need a winger, and we definitely need a fucking
what we need, right? What we really need is another centre back, right? A left back, left wing back, okay? And we need what you call a winger, and we need a striker. We need 4 to 5 more players to be really up there.
But realistically, we know that's not going to happen. The main positions that where I can actually hands on heart say, okay, cool. If we get these positions, I'll be like, cool. Respectfully, next window we can focus on the other position, attacking midfielder and attacking midfielder and a winger. Personally, if we get them 2 positions, I will be like, I'm not going to be confident with the season, but I'm going to be like, fair enough. We're not going to get a centre back, a left back, and an attacking midfielder and a winger. It's impossible, man. And if we were planning to do this all of this summer, we should have got our signings way before this point. We've already finished our preseason tour, man.
TJ, we already got our striker, and we really got our left winger, right? Number one is we signed T-Stel back. Don't forget, he's still here. So that covers
the 30 million, man. Waste the 30 million. I'm sorry.
And then we got Odeberg, right, on the left, coming up, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. And big up, okay, guys. Guguma, big up to you. Long time no see, right? Guguma, long time haven't been in chats, right? And Scotty's on here too. The OGs are back, right? Back from 5 years ago. Oh dear. We've seen it all, right, Scott? And come back to square one again. This is what Spurs does to you.
Yeah, listening to TJ, and he's making a lot of good points. I don't agree about not wanting Frank, but fair enough. Everybody can have their own opinion on who they want, but it's all the same things we've been talking about since we started back 5 years ago, as you say. Not bringing in the players you want. Like TJ said it perfectly. How have we not brought these players in by now? Like the idea that we're going to now, even if we do get the players we want, it's going to take them time to adjust. We know that. We've been saying it for years, but That's what's always the most frustrating, and I say it every year, is that we say the same thing every summer, and the club never changes. We knew going into the summer, everybody knew this summer that we needed more creativity in the team. I don't think there's any Spurs fan who wouldn't say that we needed better in that area, right? Even the people who were angry about Frank being sacked and Ange being sacked and loved Ange, even those guys would say we need more in our attack. We need better wingers. We need more creativity. We said all year last year we rely on Madison. When Madison is out, we have nothing. Our team can't create anything. So it shouldn't be a surprise. Like, we should have addressed it anyways. Whether Madison was fully healthy this year, which he never seems to be, we should have had somebody so that when he goes down, sure, it sucks and it isn't great, but we have somebody to fit right in. I mean, we played a game against Bayern yesterday, and there was no legitimate 10 that could play there. The only option we had is maybe we can move Kudos over because he sometimes plays there for Ghana. Maybe we can move Odebear over there because he might kind of played that at some point in his career. We put Sarr there because he's a midfielder, right? Like, how is it that we don't have somebody who can naturally play 10 for us that can fit in? But that's the story of Spurs, right? That's what we've seen under Daniel Levy since he's owned the club, that we never have what we need. That anytime something happens, it can be a catastrophic injury like this. Like, we're screwed now, and we're never proactive to bring anybody in. We're just reacting to whatever we need. And of course, we react super slow as well, which doesn't help out.
No, we've seen this before, right?
was already injured, though. Like, Kulusevski was already injured, so surely they should have been looking at someone.
You already knew Becky was injured. You already knew Dragozin was injured. You already know who was injured, right? Guys, whilst we're going this, right, like you're saying, Scott, you know me, right? We had this chat, right? When you said, I said I'm Ange, don't care, right? And then you said I'm Levy in. Because I'm Ange, don't care, because we're seeing the same thing again. It's the same thing happening, right? At this moment in time, I'm Frank, don't care too, because we know that he's not in full control of this boat. You get what I'm saying now? Where it's going to drift, right? So all I can say now is that if those signings do come in, right, proper signings do come in, then it will improve us. If those proper signings don't come in, so then we'll be in for this roller coaster ride, you know.
But you see what don't make no sense to me. Look, we don't have Madison, we don't have Kulusevski, but then we're gonna look. I'm not saying it's the perfect suit, but we put in. We're sending players out on loan, like Albert, for example. He can play in the midfield. Like, we're lacking. Listen, this is my point. My point is this: we're so thin of that creative midfield position. It's like we're forcing it. Unless man, we need to. What's stopping us from putting the money down for Eze? Please tell me. Please tell me.
He doesn't want to come, so.
Well, there are two reasons, right? Number one, we don't have the money. Number two, he doesn't want to come. So what's the reason?
Why don't we have the money?
I don't know.
Why don't we have the money? It makes no sense. Bro, I've been working all them concerts, and you're telling me we don't have no money? Don't take the piss out of me, bro. We have money, man. Bro, money's not an issue. It's Levy's that's the issue, man.
No. Didn't watch that overlap thing, right?
I don't give a damn about what Levy said.
5 years for the stadium. Right now. Big up to Nige, big up, right? I know, guys. I'm just saying, right? It's a euphemism or something, right? It's always, we don't have the money. We have to sell Dubai. Bro,
it makes no sense, though.
Okay, it's just the ambition.
Logically, no. Wait, let me tell you this, innit? Logically, it doesn't make no sense, innit? We moved into that stadium. I'm sorry, I'm not having that because logically, I've been working for. I basically work every event day, and you're telling me that this club don't have no money. You're lying to yourself, man.
No,
we're all lying to ourselves.
No, that is one part of that narrative is out that we don't have the money. It's because that they're saving it up. I don't know, right? Something to do with the stadium, maybe. There's some certain we call restrictions, right? That we can't spend a certain amount that we can't make, right? I'm really not sure. But all I'm gonna say is that, right?
What was the point of moving into the stadium?
Okay, look at last
What was the
season, right?
point? No,
the
no.
whole
But
of
what
last
was the point of
season-
moving into the stadium then?
The
I'm
point of
sorry, I'm
moving
not
that
having.
stadium- the point-
I'm
bro,
actually pissed off, bro. What's the
bro,
point?
the point-
If we don't have
okay,
money,
okay.
every
Hold
single
on,
year
hold
it's
on.
mean we don't have money. It makes no sense.
The question with Spurs now, right? The point of that stadium is, right?
What do you want to jump on the show and talk about Tottenham? What do you think about Bayern, bro? Think what about Bayern? Hold on. Hey, you guys carry on talking.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
When he's not naked, right? He's asking someone to join the show. Guys, right? I'm not saying that we don't have money, right? The thing is that we do have money. We are supposed to be the 9th richest club in the world, but then you must understand the money-wise, right? The value, right? The value, right, of it being 9th richest because it's of the stadium, the cost of the stadium, the value of the stadium also is there. And we have, I think, what the highest turnover, right? But our accounts, right? We're in the negative. You get what I'm saying? So it shows that we don't have money. Simple as that. That's
But is
how,
it because we're
that's
still
how I see
in
it.
debt? We're in debt because of the stadium? Is that what you're saying? Sorry.
Yeah. Bro, we borrowed something like what? 600 million or 800 million pounds, right? To build that stadium. So we have 35 years to pay it back. Remember COVID, we took another 100 million pounds or some shit like that, 500 million pounds, right? That we have to pay back. So there are a lot of paybacks, right? But okay, come down to it, right? It doesn't matter. It's all about ambition, right? I was about to say this. Look at Manchester United, right? The whole of last season, we were laughing at them not having money, right? The stadium has a waterfall, natural built-in waterfall. We were laughing about that, right?
Hold on 1 minute. Hear this out. Listen, regardless if we did have money or we don't have money, we have 60 million for Gibbs White, 17 million for Højbjerg, Son, 20 million. That's
2020.
near enough 100 million or something on the lines of it.
Yeah.
So we have money. Hold on 1 second. I'm coming back.
All right. And then what he was saying, right? 55 million for Kudos we bought, right? 35 million that we had to pay for Tel. 12, 15 million for Denso. Doesn't that balance that out to zero? But guys, apart from arguing about we don't have the money, we have the money, right? The Bayern game. I don't know, where's Scotty gone to? If he's still around. Scotty, you here?
He said
Nah,
he's had to
Scotty's-
go step out for like a few minutes. That's what he said.
Yeah, I know. Has, you watched the game, right? What were your thoughts?
Do you really want my thoughts about the game?
Yeah,
Because I did a TJ. I watched the first like hour and then we went 3-0 down. And I switched it off and I was like, I'm going to watch something better because we were getting torn apart. We couldn't string 3 passes together. And I was like, you know what? I just don't want to watch it.
It's pre-season, right? You don't watch Ange ball.
Look, this is the question. Where are our goals going to come from? And this is what exactly I was thinking. We have no outlet. We have no outlet. When I watched us, we couldn't get out. We just could not get out.
No, and the best part is, right, during the watch along, right, I said Richarlison has a pea shooter, you know?
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
Richarlison works pretty hard, but he has
No,
nothing.
he can't shoot, right? It was pea shooter. Look at what. No, remember the Richarlison shot, right? There was the player in between. He tried to curve the ball, right? The other 2 goals that Bayern scored, or 3 goals that Bayern scored, right? Especially one from the youngster, right? The 17-year-old. The ball was passed to him. He took it first, right? It was curled apart. We can't do that.
They'll tear us to shreds. I don't think it was the defense's fault. I just think we couldn't get out. That's what I thought. Like, as in they were trying to play it out, you know, to get out of the situation.
The tactics were different, right? I think Frank was using different tactics. How would you say? He's trying something out and it didn't work out, right? In fairness, I work hard for 70K plus a week. To tell you, yeah. But footballers are footballers, right? Hey, Jens, evening. Right.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat again if anyone else was trying.
Yeah, you just throw in. Who wants to hop on? Harry's throwing the link in today.
Yeah.
Right. Today it's come over and let's moan and groan about Frank.
Have some therapy.
Yeah. Just let it all out. Let it all out.
Let it all out to the doctor.
Yeah. The doctor. That's the doctor going to do. the naked doctor.
He's not naked today.
Yeah, he's not naked today. Yeah, Elias, you want to come on? You, Michael, you want to come on?
Yeah, but like for me, it was just I was just like, "What is this?" Like I didn't even watch the Arsenal game because I was at work, so I didn't see. All I know is our fans went so excited about Frank after being Arsenal, and then the next
being
week,
it's so bipolar, right? This is our fan base, guys. Welcome to the Spurs fan base. 1 minute you're up there in the roller coaster in the high end, and the next thing you're down, right? So
for me, Eugene, it wasn't the fact we lost. Even if we lost like 3-1 or 4, even 2-1, 3-1, it's just the way we lost. The way we lost, we just had no outlet.
What's the feeling like, right? It's like having gums, old people with gums and no teeth trying to bite you.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. Hey,
So
hi,
Scott,
Sonny.
what did you think of the game? Did you watch it or the Bayern?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to watch all the games this preseason.
Oh, more than me.
And you don't even join me for the watch along, right? Why don't you join me for watch along when you're watching games?
Well, yeah, usually now because the game is preseason, I'm trying to get stuff done at the same time. And once the season comes on, I'll hopefully be able to do a few watch-alongs. But much like you said, Haz, I think I heard you saying the result, we're going to lose. Like, it's Bayern. I actually predicted 4-0 before the game, right? We're going to lose to Bayern. That's right. Fine. And again, even if we had won 4-0, the results of preseason games are so meaningless, right? Like, is Liverpool lost, I think, 4-2 to Milan? Are we really worried about Liverpool? No, we know that's so, but it's more about how we played. And the thing for me is that it's all this preseason has been the same thing for me. All the concerns that I had and a lot of fans had about where goals going to come, what are we going to do? They've all been reinforced this preseason. And that's what I've said, not just this year, but all the years. When I watch preseason, what concerns me is when there's problems that the team has, and you don't see that any of those problems are addressed or fixed, that's where I get concerned, right? And I'll bring Liverpool back because they're an easy example, right? If Liverpool wasn't scoring goals in the preseason and I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm not going to be worried because I know Salah, I know Gakpo, I know Wirtz, I know that Ekitike, they're going to score goals, right? I'm not worried. So if the preseason they're not clicking, like, does it really matter? No, I'm not really concerned if I'm a Liverpool fan. But when we're watching Solanke, Tell, Odebert, Johnson, Sarr, and we see that we're not creating or doing anything, it's not a surprise. Like, that's what we expect. And what we're seeing is that we don't have solutions that we need to. There's nothing that I don't think Frank can do. There's nothing if Klopp was here or Pep was here or Ancelotti was here that they could do anything. The solution that we need is outside of the club. We need better players. And so that's all. That's the main thing I take away from Bayern. I know 4-0, people are going to be concerned, like, oh, what about our defense? I thought for the most part, our defense looked okay, better. The one concerning thing is that we've seen before is I think on at least 2 or 3 of the goals, the later goals, is even though they were amazing, like finishes, like credit to Bayern, those finishes that they had, there were some amazing shots. But our defenders just back off, and gave them so much space to give them that. And we hated it when we saw Dyer, right? The Dyer special where he puts his hands behind his back and turns away from the attacker. Man, he loved doing that. And I saw it from Van de Ven yesterday. He backed off. I saw it from Davies, of course. And I think that's a little bit concerning, is that our players did back off rather than get tight. That's something that we need to work on. But I think overall, for a 4-0 game, actually, the defense wasn't terrible. Bayern had some good goals. Credit to Harry Kane. What an amazing finish. The pass was amazing. But the structure the structure was fine. That's what I've been seeing all preseason long, is that we're not seeing those massive gaps where the opposition can just kick it behind our fullback and their wingers have about 50 yards of space to operate in, where we're not looking at Mickey Van de Ven to have to run back because he's 1-on-1 or probably 3-on-1. And if he doesn't make that last tackle, we're screwed. Still stuff to work on for sure. But overall in the preseason, what I've seen is that we're defensively, we look like a proper defensive unit. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. And when you're playing against Bayern, you're going to get burned. But the real concern is, I mean, we cannot go in and think that we are going to compete in the Premier League, and certainly not the Champions League, if our front line is some combination of Tell, Odebert, Johnson, Solanke, who am I missing? Richie, and then Kudos, who's fine, but he can't do it. He's not a player who who's just going to take on the whole team and do it himself. He's a good player, maybe a very good player, but he's not prime Bale, right? He's not prime Sonny and Kane. He can't do everything and beat a whole defense. That he's not going to do that. And it's not criticizing him, just the reality of what he is. And if we don't get those players,
okay, yeah, carry
what
on,
are we
sorry.
going to do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he's
who
still
that
here.
is, so-
Lance is still here. Yeah.
So I don't, that's it. Like it was what I expected out of that game. And I heard Eugene saying earlier about the kind of going back to that Ange ball. What I did see, what was really frustrating, and what I think hurt the defense, and why we saw it is much like we saw when we were doing our watch-alongs before, Eugene. We would win the ball back, and how fast was it? We won the ball straight back to the Bayern player, and they're right back at us. And Eugene and I talked about that all the time when we were doing it. And that hasn't changed. Is that we'd win the ball back, we'd maybe make a good play to win the ball back, but within 10 seconds, Bayern had it back and were coming at us again. That's something we need to fix.
Yeah,
and I don't think you have the players to do that. I think that's going to have to be an improvement in midfield and attack. Is that we need players who can hold the ball up. Something like
What do you think about Paulinho?
It helps, right? If that ball,
were you able to gauge anything about Paulinho? I did feel it. I didn't have a proper stream to watch it through. I didn't feel that he was that present. Is it a good sign or bad sign?
You know what? Paulinho to me looked like a guy who was playing his first game of the preseason. And this kind of gets back to what we were saying, is why you want to get players in so that so that game for him, there was some bad when he kind of dove down and people thought that he should have that they wanted a foul there. I don't think it was a foul outside the box. I don't know if you remember that. He kind of fell over. He was just weak. Like, that was bad. He had some other good times. Some of his tackles were quality. The penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty, he actually didn't touch the guy, but you could see how he can go in and not make that mistake. If there was VAR, I don't blame the ref, because I thought it was a penalty live. I was watching on Savage. He thought it was live. I heard other people live. It looked like a penalty. VAR would have called it back. So I think that for me, Paulinho looked like a guy who hadn't played much. So there were some good moments and some bad moments. And I'm glad that he got that out today against Bayern rather than his first game being against Burnley.
Yeah, don't forget we're playing PSG,
right?
Yeah,
or PSG. That's why you want players in to play in the preseason, so they can get their legs, so they can get back into it, so they can make some of those mistakes, right? Better to make them in preseason. So
yeah, I would think Johnson as 9 now, right? We don't actually have a number 9.
Yeah,
it's so painful and sad.
Yo, I'm back, my friend. Sorry about that, man. Just speaking to another Tottenham fan.
Okay.
Yeah, he agrees with me. We definitely have money, by the way. Like, I'm gonna mention it again, innit? So we sold Son. We got 20 million. We man, my mind's blank again. My mind's blank. What was I gonna say?
You're not naked.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember what I was gonna say.
You're not naked. That's right.
I can't remember what I was gonna say. Something about money.
All
I know is around 100 million.
TJ, we moved on from the money, so say something else. We're talking about something else now.
I'll say something, TJ, and you can think about it. Even if we do have the money, you're right, but we don't. It's not like we need 70 million pound players to come in. There's players out there for 20, 30 million that we can get and bring in.
That's
players
my point.
On loan. I know he's a controversial player. I'm not saying him. Grealish on loan doesn't cost us that much money. Like, there's players out there that we can get. Of course, I'd like to let's go get 80 million pound players. Like, that would be great. But we don't even, you know what I mean? Like, we have the money to get quality players or get players that are still.
My point is that there's no excuses of why we haven't seen the signings. Regardless of the take of we don't have money, we do have money. I made a calculation just there, asking this brother, because he's quite good with football. He's a legacy fan, innit? He's 70 years old, innit? He knows his finances up until he told me 3 players where we got around 100 million. I mentioned 100 million just a minute, like 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, right? But I'm not saying we need money to get players. Why are we? What was the point of moving into this stadium if we're not going to bring anybody in? Make it make sense. It makes no sense to move to this stadium. It was pointless. Pointless. If you remember that same season when we moved into the stadium, we were so close to going for gold. That last season we went undefeated at home. We never
It's not
lost
the
at
same.
home. Sorry, say that again.
No, this guy said the attack under Ange got 5th, won Europa, got Champions League, got a semi and quarters with the injuries. And now all of a sudden we need strikers.
I was just
That's
shaking my
because we
head
had-
because we've said we needed strikers under Ange. Like this is what I don't get. Just because we criticized Ange for his tactics doesn't mean we also didn't say we needed better players. But anyways,
You're right,
yeah,
Ben.
the last season at White Hart Lane when we went undefeated, right? Is that what you're saying, TJ?
Yeah.
I think
Look, we were so
right,
close. We were so close to going for gold, didn't it? And the way the club kind of like handed it to us, they said, "Oh, moving into this season will bring us revenue, will bring us all of this." And look, we're not even seeing it. We're not seeing it. It's been a lie. How long have we? It's been what, nearly 8-10 years, even longer now since we moved into this new stadium. Around 10 years, right?
6 years.
Oh, am I adding too many years? 6 years? No, it
Yeah.
can't be. It's more than that.
6 years. 6 years. It's 6 years now. You're right, because we moved in April 2019 to the stadium.
19.
Okay, cool. I added 4 more years. It feels like 10 years, man.
Yeah. Because we had lockdown.
It feels like 10 years. Yeah. It feels like 10 years. But what's the point of moving into this stadium? To better their
to make
pocket,
them more revenue.
in my
To make
opinion.
them more
Exactly. It's to better their pocket.
They built the stadium, right, so that their wealth will grow exponentially.
Yeah,
Once you got that
yeah.
stadium, and now they're trying to gentrify the whole area. That's why Tottenham Hotspur is a property development. The football has been put aside, and now we're
That's
trying
why
to
I'm
catch up.
becoming homeless.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm becoming homeless, man. Tottenham's
But
too
you really
expensive for man to live in. Bro, that was my stomping ground. Like, and it's sad note, like it is sad because, like, we're just not ambitious enough. You look at teams like, and I'm sorry to say this, innit? We were the team that won the Europa League, but look at Man United, for example. Yeah, look, different tomato, right? But they were the one with financial problems.
200 over million pounds. What have we done?
Sorry, say that again.
They convinced. To be fair though, I'm with TJ. They convinced Tesco to come. And Buemo's going. Cunha went. We could have got Cunha. I think Cunha was more than.
We could have gotten them. We could have look if we put them up. Look, it's not all about money.
It's not for me. One. I think we could have got. Yeah.
It's not all about money. Let's make it clear. Like we said, there's players out there that we can do the loan for. Look at Grealish, for example. We don't need to just spend hundreds and thousands of millions, right? It's not even. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is look at United, for example. United were in deep depths of hell, and they've acted. They brought in Sesko, they brought in Mbemo, they brought in Cunha. They're looking at a player that I wanted, in my opinion. Look, Pelina's come, I'm happy with it right now. You know, he's on a loan, innit? Right? But I wanted Belieber personally. I wanted Belieber over Walton. Remember, we were getting linked to Walton. I personally wanted Belieber, personally, right? But now they're getting linked to Belieber, and they were meant to be in financial problems. So make it make sense.
But
it don't make no sense.
They know how to sell players. I mean, they're selling Garnacho for how was it 40 million to Chelsea? Was it 40 million?
No, but the way they even they haven't sold a lot of their players that they bought for a very high price. Like they can't get rid of Højlund, they can't get rid of this and all that. But what I'm saying is, right, we've been laughing at Manchester United from last season that, you know, when they had to sack the tea lady, right, the cafeteria debacle, right, the waterfall in the stadium, right. But the thing is that now they are acting. Look at that. Sesko, Cunha, and Buemo is 200 million pounds.
A whole new front line.
Yeah, and Belieber as well. That's
Yeah,
the
but
beginning
I
of
read
talking.
they want 100 million for Belieber. 100. That's what I was reading.
And
Today.
if they if they get Belieber over the line, moving into this stupid stadium makes no sense. Makes no sense, in my opinion. Made no sense.
It
Made
doesn't
no
make sense.
sense.
Right now.
Well, the
It-
problem with moving into
Go.
the stadium is we've increased our spending in the new stadium, but we haven't adjusted how we spend. Right? We still don't have a football plan. We still don't have proper football people. Like right now, how much times have we spent the last 2 years saying, "Is Paratici involved? Isn't he involved? Oh, is Lang making the calls? Is this guy like?" And part of that they'll say, "Well, Paratici has all his legal trouble." Then don't have him be part of the team, the club. Where
Scott,
it's not like he's the only guy or he's so amazing.
no,
Go
Scott,
in and bring a proper football
have you
person
not-
so that we're making decisions that are proper. But we never let football people make football decisions. And whether you're like TJ said, if we're in this new brilliant stadium bringing tons of money, what difference does it make if we're still being donkeys when it comes to football transfers, right? The new stadium doesn't help us if you're just making the same mistakes that you did at the old stadium. It just means now we make more expensive mistakes rather than cheap mistakes.
We've been making too many expensive mistakes with Charleston, Solanke, Ndombele, right? You add those three together, it's past 240 million pounds, right? Down the drain. We don't see the quality in them, right? And now we paid 40 million for Archie Gray, hoping that he'll turn into something good. I don't know whether he'll turn up or whether he'll develop to be a.
And this is an expensive mistake. 30 million for Tell makes no sense. I don't understand why we done it. I don't see no. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. For me, and this will get criticized. I'll rather have Werner in my lineup than Tell. Personally,
No.
Yeah, it's shameless. No, it's shameless.
Werner's going
It's shameless.
I'd rather have Yang then. No.
No, I know it's shameless, isn't it? But at least I know Werner will run at the damn goal. You know what I'm talking about? At least I know Werner will run at the goal. It's shameless, but Tell is a waste of money. Another expensive mistake. Not worth 30 million, in my opinion. Not even worth 15.
We spent 40 on him with the loan.
40 on Tell.
It makes no
45,
sense.
Wasn't it 35 and 10 million on the loan?
Remember we took him for a loan. We took him for a loan in January. That cost us 10.
Yeah.
Problem is with Tell, is that money, and I've always said this, especially these stupid transfers where they spend like 30 million on young, like 40 million on Gray. We could have bought a first team midfielder for that money, or added that money to another position.
And now we're seeing players like Jackson being linked.
That's what I want to talk about.
I swear down, if we get Jackson, I swear down on my life, I promise you, if we go for Jackson, I will start the riots at Tottenham. You guys can join in. I will start it.
We are not going to put down 80 million pounds for Jackson. Come on.
Knowing Tottenham, they might.
Nah, they won't. It's Daniel Levy, bro.
But we won't live with him.
Jackson has too many. It's with Chelsea. It's too expensive. I don't think we'll end
Why
up
do they want 80
Jackson.
million for Jackson? Like, is it because of his contract? He's got a long contract. Is that why?
I think Jackson gets. I think if Jackson played for a non-Chelsea team, we wouldn't hate him so much. If you look at his stats, they're actually not nearly like he scored more goals than Solanke did last year.
Yeah,
but
Chelsea.
I don't think he's 80 million. Don't get me wrong, but there we go. The real thing is though, we shouldn't even. You say no, I wouldn't want Tell over Wiener, but the fact that we can even have a Wiener versus Tell conversation is the problem, right? The fact that it's not immediately dismissed. Yeah. Like if TJ's out here saying I'd want Werner over Prime Son, we'd laugh him off the stream. If he said I want him over Defoe, I want him over Berbatov, I want him over any of the former attackers that we had, right? I want him over Bale, I want him over. We'd laugh him off the stream. But now he's able to make that comment because our players are so poor. We're at the level where we might say, no, we want Tell over Werner, but we can't even like really mock TJ for saying that because you can actually have a bit of a debate about it, which is terrifying.
Can.
That's the level that tells that.
And that's the damning thing. That's the scariest thing, that I can say a thing like, I would rather have Werner over Tell. That's how low our squad is. The squad level is terrible. Like, even when you think about it, look at our striker. Look at our striking position.
Solanke,
We all know that Richarlison and Solanke are not on the level for Tottenham. But you've got fans that are saying, yeah, Solanke's the guy.
Would you guys take Leao?
I 110% put it down. Before I would have said no. Before I would have said no because there's better options. But we're so desperate, I will take anybody at this point. Apart from Jackson, let me make it clear.
That's what Spurs does to you. It makes you so desperate, right? And then in the last minute of the transfer window, we will bring in 4 players, right? Whoever they are, right? Not up to the quality that we want, and we'll just have to take it. You get what I'm saying?
Sorry.
That's how people, Eugene, this was going on for years. It's like how people accepted Sissoko under Pochettino because they pushed us to the brink of desperation. And I had people having got me on Twitter for losing my head because I was like, I don't want Sissoko. And then they were like trying to justify the signing. Oh, he's good, he runs and whatever. But this is our fan base, really, in a nutshell. They'll try and justify it because Levy pushes them to the brink of desperation and he turns to someone they don't really understand. I'm borrowing a line from the
that's true, right? It's part of the psychological play they play on the fans. You get what I'm saying? Not you sign let's say two good players, you know, like a Polini and a Kudos in the beginning, right? But of course we didn't expect to lose Madison. We didn't expect to lose Madison, right? I've seen transfer windows that we don't sign anyone until the last day. The last 4 hours, the last 5 hours, the last 6 hours. I've seen it before. So what has changed? Nothing has changed. Slightly things that changed is that we've won a trophy, right? That's all. And it doesn't mean that much to the people who says that it means that much to them. You know, all the lies, you know.
The question I asked, the question I'm going to ask you guys, obviously, I'm seeing the links to Jackson, and I'm against it. I'm going to make it clear for those that have just come onto the stream, I don't want Jackson at my club. Not for 30 million, 40 million, 50 million.
And subscribe to Interspurs and use Spurs Ration and obviously my channel. Please subscribe. And Scott, he doesn't have a channel, so yeah.
Guys, I'm going to explain this, right, guys? Scott is a terrible troll when he's in the chats, right? But when he's live, right, he's a wonderful guy. Look at that. How can you not like him? Look at the face, right?
But he's a happy guy. Why does everyone make out Scott's miserable?
I don't know.
The question
I say, when I come on and talk to you guys, we all have a good time, and that's what people who don't know me can say what they want. The people who I actually talk to, we get along great.
Yeah.
All right. The question I'm gonna put out to all of you guys, Jackson, I think, is 24 years of age, right? So that he can improve massively, right? If it gets to the point where we're running out of options and we just need to go for someone, innit? Would you say you will let it go by? And
no, TJ, number one, unless we get Jackson for 40 million pounds or 35 million pounds, then I will take him, right? He's better than Solanke. Honestly, I'll take him. 24 years old, 40, 35 million pounds, I'll take him. But for 80,
he has got potential. To be fair, he actually has got some potential to give him. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'll take him. But the problem is that we won't put up 80 million pounds for him, right?
We won't.
No way. Unless we get caught into paying 50, 60 million pounds, I'll still take him, right? But it won't come now. It'll most probably come in the last minute of the transfer window, right? Who else are we linked to? We aren't linked to anyone. And you were talking about Paratici. Have you not noticed, Scott, right? This whole transfer window, right? We have not heard his name once.
Yeah, I think that's why Ben said, and Ben and Phil were saying, is Paratici still linked with the club? I said, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know what's going on at the club. It's not clear. I think you can see Paratici was a guy who liked to have lots of names out there, right? He had connections. Some people have said that there's something said about he gives Romano information or whatever. It doesn't, whatever. That's fine. I think we can see, Paratici probably is not involved as much as he was, right? He can't be. But we don't get the names out there, which is fun and exciting because you get the names. Most of them don't come true. That's fine. I think what we're seeing, people will say with Lang now, which I don't like, is like, well, he does stuff in the shadows, so we're gonna. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna sign quality players,
But-
right? It's kind of like, well, he's doing
no,
things
no.
in the shadows,
Sonny.
so just ignore it, and all of a
Sonny,
sudden we're going
wait.
to have all these 10 great players. Like that's not really what Lang does either. He just doesn't give a lot of information.
When you say it, right, we do things in the shadows, right? Why does it have to be so sneaky? Why does it have to be so? What?
Well, I don't know if he actually does. I think it's just that that's what we want to believe, right? Because if you say that, if you say, hey, he's doing things behind the scenes that we don't know, that means that there's something coming. If you say what's probably happening is that our transfer team is incompetent and nothing's going to come, that's not as funny to say because it's not hopeful.
No, Scotty. You know what's the worst thing is that he's actually doing nothing.
That's right.
No. You know what? See, I would love Paratici to come back.
Yeah,
Personally.
because he's a real.
Can he come back though? Can he come back or not?
I don't know.
He's I think he's so mafia up to his nostrils. I don't know what he can come and can't do. Right. Number one, he was like banned. The court case he lost, and then now he's appealing. And then number two, right? He from a football director, he dropped down to become a consultant. And during the reign, you still hear his name once in a while, right? Then it's supposed to be lifted, but now he's being re-sued again or something like that. And I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of whether number one is that are we still paying him, right? If we are still paying for doing nothing, that's a weird thing, right? But we do a lot of things like that, right? So
the thing about Paratici, he has a good phone book. He has good connections that I don't think Lang has, to be honest with you. Just look at the quality of players we've been linked to under Lang, and look at the quality of players we've been linked to under Paratici. For me personally, it's a no-brainer. He should come back if he can come back, to save our window. But right now, it's weird.
I don't think he'll want to come back, right, after dealing with Levy. And
to
the
what?
worst part is that, no,
you talking about?
Said, get Mitchell back, but I don't think he'll want to come
Mitchell
back.
won't. But the reality is whoever it is, Lang, Mitchell, Paratici, TJ, Eugene, Haz, is like, it goes back to what we said at the start. The needs are obvious. There's so many players out there. Like if you look around, there's probably never been more available players because of so many different factors, and especially like how much money those teams in Europe do not have. The leagues don't have the same money that the Premier Leagues do, right? They don't have the same TV deals. They don't have the same worldwide international appeal that brings the money in that we have. It shouldn't matter who's there. The needs are there and there's players out there. How are we not filling the need? Again, we've known that we needed better left wings. The club knew Sonny's leaving all summer, right? They've known. It's not like it was a surprise.
Yeah, I know.
How did we not? And if they're going to say that Tell and Odebert are our two options, like that's terrible planning. That's doesn't matter who's the DOF. Doesn't matter who's making choices. That's you can't have Odebert and Tell as our two options. No chance.
Surprised. I'm surprised we haven't gone in for someone like Adeyemi from Dortmund. Just recently.
You really like him, yeah.
Oh, honestly, he's a phenomenal player, man. Phenomenal player. He can play the striker position.
So many players we can list off.
I don't even have to be a scout. I can name 5 players that can fill that role. Really and truly. But that's because
I know we've not been linked with anyone, but I do a podcast with someone else. He suggested a name. I mean, it might be a bit of a stretch for us, but Morgan Rogers at Villa. Do you think he'd be a good fit?
It's going to be difficult. It will be a good signing.
Yeah,
it would be a good. Go for it, sir.
Yeah. Why don't we change the next subject, right? Around this, among the 4 of us and you guys in the chats, I'm not sure how many. I've got about 10, 11 on my channel. How many people in the chats, right? Let me know, right? Regardless of the price, right? Would any of you guys take Jackson? I say yes, I would. We're gonna move on from that.
Because like we just alluded to earlier, it would get so desperate. I mean,
yeah,
Has you there?
I guess it was so desperate.
Yeah.
What are the strikes we can sign? You think?
Yeah,
Hmm?
Scott, would you take Jackson?
In like ignoring the 80 million and ignoring the fact that he's at Chelsea, I think he's an upgrade over Solanke and Richie, but I think there's better out there. Like I'd rather get Awissa, I'd rather get Callum Wendo, I'd rather get. There's other players out there, Kolo Muani, although I think he's going to Juve, but I think he's an upgrade over what we have. But I think that there's better fits, and I also think that with it being Chelsea, I don't think we're going to do deal with them, and I don't think that we're getting him for the ridiculous money that they're quoting. So, but yes, I think I would if it was a reasonable price and not Chelsea, I would take him. Just in terms
and we had no choice, right?
All right. So
yeah,
if you word it like that, if we don't have a choice in it, I would obviously take him, right? But I don't want no Jackson near my squad, man. Like, I'll be so honest with you, there's better strikers out there, you know. Like, for me, it makes no sense if we're gonna be spending 80 million on Jackson. Right now, but if this were like something like a 25 or 30, even less than 30, maybe like 25 to 20 million, I wouldn't mind taking a punt. Because we're so desperate. It's only desperation. That's the reason why I want him.
We have another 20 over days and we're so desperate.
Yeah, I mean, he scored 14 goals 2 years ago and 10 goals last year. So he's not terrible. I think there's a little bit of hyperbole because he has some big misses and because he's Chelsea. But he's not terrible. There's worse strikers out there like Richarlison, and I would say Solanke. But I understand why people don't want. Like I'm not. He's not certainly at the top of my list. I'm not saying let's run out and get him.
Is he better than Solanke? Do you think?
Okay, guys. I'm just saying, right?
I think he's better than Solanke.
Why doesn't Wissa want to join us?
I don't know if I think he probably would. I think he sees a good opportunity at Newcastle where they're selling Isaac and he gets brought in there, and then now you're the number one guy. Newcastle, again, like people don't want to say it. Newcastle's in a much better spot than we are right now, right? They just finished fifth. Yeah. They won a trophy. They're in Champions League. I think if I wasn't a Spurs fan and you said, which club do you want to join? Especially as a striker with Isaac on the way out, I think it's clear that Newcastle's a better option.
Why are we not going for the Crystal Palace striker?
If you really want, they want 80 million. I think they want 80 million for him.
You would rather spend 80 million on Mateta than flipping Jackson.
I wouldn't spend 80 on either, but I would be fine if Mateta, again, like Jackson, if it was way down in price, I would take Mateta.
I think Mateta is a better player than Jackson and a better player than Richarlison and a better player than Solanke, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's worth 80 million, but the quote unquote is Jackson's going to be worth 80 million. I would rather spend the money on Mateta knowing what I'm getting than Jackson, in my opinion. I think Mateta is slept on.
Yeah, I would take Mateta, sure, over Jackson. I have no problem agreeing with it. I just think he's going to be too much. I think there's guys who are going to be closer to 40 million around that price that we can get. That's all. I would, if Mateta was 40 million, I would pay it out of my pocket myself.
Like you, if you don't mind me listing someone for 40 million.
What's that?
Like who, if you don't mind listing someone for 40 million.
Well, Vissa, we're talking about 40 million. Callum Wendo, we mentioned. I think Kolo Muani, what I've heard is they're looking at about 40 to 50 million. Macadaisy, I think is how you pronounce his name, the guy out of Lyon.
Leon. Yeah,
Leon. I don't know now. The guy who I also want, I mean, I don't know how much do you think Ademi, however you pronounce his name, from Dortmund's going to cost?
Right now, I think it's going to go around 40 to 50 million personally, and I think it's a steal. I think it's a steal.
I don't think they'll sell him, but Openda, if you could get, now that they've sold Sesko and look like they're selling Simons, Openda, he's the guy out of where is he? RB Leipzig.
RB Leipzig, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they'll sell him because they're selling too many guys. But if you could get him, I would prefer him. I think there's guys around that 40 to 50 million.
I think Newcastle made a play for Muani. I know you said he might be going somewhere else, Juventus, but I heard Newcastle want him, is on their list or something. Yeah.
Now, guys, Newcastle are
Lookman,
panic too, right? Yeah, Lookman too from
I
Edinburgh.
think he's got into Milan. That's what I think he's going into
he's
Milan.
going into Milan. Yeah, he's forcing away from Atalanta. Atalanta wants about 43 million pounds for him, and Inter does what?
Yeah, it's actually quite decent, reasonable money actually.
But that's a decent, reasonable money for the Premier League. For the Italian league, is expensive.
Can I just mention something? The only problem with Adeyemi, he's not your typical striker. You're getting him purely to replace like a Son, a winger. You know, he's full of pace. You know, he can play the striker role, innit? But don't expect him to be one of the physical talents because Solanke's quite a big lad, you know, and all the strikers we're talking have a big physical build. They actually are strikers. With Adeyemi, he's not that striker. And another thing that is a problem with Adeyemi, he is, I would have to say, not injury prone, but he had a massive injury last year. And that's what kind of like, because he was linked to, I think he was linked to Bayern Munich, if I'm not correct. And he had that massive injury. And that's what kind of like stopped his like move, right? But that's the only thing you have to think about because he was injured. Oh, we know TJ loves big and dominant.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, we need a left winger. Like, for me, it's a necessity.
We definitely need a left winger, man.
Yes, move Jackson out of the way.
You're getting frustrated with that guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PSG. Okay, now this is interesting.
Oh, Scott's
all right, lads, look. All right, lads, look. Before you guys start, I'm heading off in it because I'm at work still in it.
Okay.
I did say it was going to be 5 minutes. I ended up staying for like 40 minutes or something like that. So respect. I wish I could, didn't I wish I could. It's just I've got a lot of work to do in it. You know.
TJ.
No worries. See you guys there. See you guys.
Always good talking to you, TJ.
Nice talking to you as well, by the way. Come on more often.
We'll see. Maybe I'll be on more. I've talked to Haz and Eugene a lot, so maybe I'll come back more with them if they're doing streams. These are the kind of streams I like to come on.
Choice actually for Ferran Torres. We were linked with him before, but yeah.
Very cheap option. No, Ferran Torres, very cheap option. We're so desperate right now. I would take it. See, I'm that hooker in the club in it that will take anything for a little £20 right now, bro. Like generally, I'm that type of person. I'm desperate.
Go to work.
I'm desperate, man.
Go to work.
Go to work.
Cool. Wait. One last thing. One last thing in it. Have you been on Tottenham High Road at night? Them girls in it. Yeah. Them girls are none. Bro, listen. They will do anything for £5, bro. They will double it for £20. Trust me. I'm that person right now. I need anybody in my club. But guys, love and respect.
All right.
See you later.
Right, see you later.
All right, take care.
Yeah, when he's not naked, it's the girls on the high road.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. PSG on Wednesday. I can't believe it's actually so soon. Like,
yeah,
it's gone quick. It's actually gone quick.
One and a half months just burned through like that, right? 2 months just burned through like that.
Since like the season ended, like May, June, July, it's just gone, like just like that.
No, but the thing is that we expected us to improve, right? The squad, the team, but no, we expected us. But I to tell the truth, right? A lot of people say that we have improved, right? We have improved, right? Because we really gotten in what's his name, Paulinia and Kudos. But the problem now is that we've lost Sonny and we've lost Madison. So I think it brings us all back to square one again. So we've not improved, and let's hope that we don't regress. But against PSG, I'm not sure. Scott, let's get your opinions first because you were shaking your head. You're going to do a watch along with me? The PSG game, I may have to do a watch along at the Mamak stall. Yeah. 3 a.m.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm shaking my head because we have one kind of hope is that I know it's kind of a trophy and it's kind of not fully preseason, but it really isn't also like Champions League final. So PSG's had a busy summer. And maybe the hope is that they don't want to go crazy all out and that we won't get embarrassed because of that. But the reality is if PSG treats this like they treated the the Champions League final, we're going to get destroyed, and it's going to be
But okay,
not
Scott,
fun to watch, and it's going to be embarrassing.
I'll give you a question, right? If we defended like we played against Arsenal, do you think that will help?
I think, yeah, I'd like. Maybe when I say embarrassed is a little bit strong, because I do think Frank will set us up in a way that we're not going to be like wide open and chaotic and all the other silly things we saw.
Like the Bayern game, the Bayern game.
But we saw at Bayern when they had players like Olise and how he could just have free will going around us, and the way that even like Kane and Coleman, how fast they can pass that ball around with each other and just open you up, whether you're a great defense or not. I mean, Inter Milan is a very quality defensive team, and PSG could rip them open with the players that they have, with Dembele and Kurtzavala and their midfield, Vitinha, and all their midfielders can pass the ball probably better than any of our midfielders, right? And they're just going. That's the concern that we have, and then that doesn't even get into the wing backs that they have out there that can come in and rip you apart. So,
Hakimi and
like,
all that,
what are we looking at? Like, this is, am I wrong? We're looking probably at a front line of Tell, Richarlison, Kudos, something like basic, that, right? Yeah. Some combination of that with somebody in the 10. Maybe people would say you're looking at in the 10 either Bergvall or Sarr, right? Like, what are we going to do? I would be worried if we're having that attack against Leicester City. If that was Leicester City that we're playing, I'd be worried about it. And now we're playing PSG. Like, I want to be excited.
Quite terrible, right? Can we use Bentancur there?
I think Bentancur is better when he's deeper. I think we saw that at Juve, his best. When I hear people, I don't watch Uruguay, but people that talk about Uruguay talk about him playing farther away. I think he's better the deeper he is. I think that's the kind of passes he makes are those when he can see the whole he has that whole pitch in front of him and he can make that pass. I don't think he's one that we want making those quick passes, those tight passes. I don't think that's his game. But I mean, when you say, can we put him there? I don't think he's any worse playing there than anybody else we're going to have.
We don't have much choices, right? All the youngsters gone and all that, right? And the weird part is that I don't know what our bench will look like, because against the Bayern game, right, we didn't have any youngsters at all. I think we only had 9 subs or something like that.
You said, yeah,
and it was a weird one. Most of all the first 11. So that's what I look at now, right? This PSG game, right? If Frank is going to put out his strongest team, right, that back line will be, I think, Udogi is out, so it will be a Porro, right? Vicario will be at goal. Porro, Romero, VDV, and Spence. That'll be.
I think that's solid. That those 5 players, you put those guys in, I'm okay with that. Like that, right. I think that's going to be it. No, there's no doubt that's going to be the players, unless somebody picks up an injury. But yeah, I think those 5, the Vicario with the back 4, sure, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Then in the middle, you're talking about would you put Paulinho there?
Yeah, Paulinho. And then I don't love Paulinho and Bentancur. I think we need better than Bentancur. But I think if you put those 2 there, sure. It's not ideal, but I think a Bentancur, Paulinho, especially when we're going against a PSG where you want, those 2 are experienced. They're not going to, I mean, they will make dumb mistakes because every player, but you know what, like they're not overwhelmed. Paulinho and Bentancur are solid enough.
Paulinho and Bergvall? Then play Sarr as a 10?
I don't like Sarr. I don't. 10, but yeah. What were you going to say, sorry?
I would probably put Bergvall at the 10 if you want to have any sort. I don't think he's a 10. I don't think he should be there. But given the options, I think if you give Bergvall, it gives us something in terms of he can make a play. I think he's got his upside is better. I think his passing is better than Sarr. I think he does see the game better than Sarr. But my concern is if you're going against PSG, like he's going to get massively overwhelmed. And I think everything I just said isn't going to come into play because they'll just take the ball off him like nothing. That PSG midfield will eat him alive, right? They'll eat him alive. But so will Sarr. But at least Sarr will run around and run.
Yeah. Front three, the front three, the right will have to be Kudos. And now you see Frank playing Brennan on the left.
On the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
He
center
can't play.
is
He can't play on the left. Brennan Johnson. I mean,
Brennan-
I've
Brennan
criticized
can't
Tells.
play.
You've
Brennan
heard me
can't
and probably
play.
seen me.
He only can
But
score
Johnson,
goals, but he can't play. You know what I'm
Johnson
saying?
can't play on the left. He can't play. He can't start for us. He
But
can't,
then
and he can't play on the left.
Then he'll be then he'll be Odebear or Tell on the left.
Yeah, I don't know. None.
What choices do we
But
have?
the-
That's the thing. There's nothing. There's nothing there really. I mean, apart from Kudus.
I just think when we're playing PSG, Johnson does so little when he isn't tapping in a goal. We can't play with 10 men on the field because Johnson's 10 men on the field. He does nothing when he doesn't have the ball. He does absolutely nothing.
What about
Maybe, I
Johnson
don't
as a striker?
Apparently,
Just let him
Solanke's
play
going to be
on-
back for the game. That's what I heard. Solanke's going to be back.
Nah, he wouldn't be fit enough, bro. Right?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, if you're saying that Johnson has to, if we're saying that Johnson is going to start, I think I'd rather him start at striker than on the left or the right.
Yeah.
But
And
I
ask him to
prefer
do
him not
nothing
to
but
be
just
there.
tap in the goal. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just run the right positions and tap in the goal. He doesn't even have to pass the ball. Right? Just be there for that last touch. I don't know. Why do we look so weak this season again? But it's again, right? It's not the first time, right? When we had Ponte here, remember that summer transfer window, we were talking about why we're getting Jumas and the Langleys coming in. Guys, it's just plain deja vu. And
Yeah, I mean,
happens
there's there was no transfers that were going to make me feel comfortable against PSG. Like we all realize, hey, PSG's above our level. No matter what we do, it's
No, I understand.
they're above where we
No,
are.
But
But
at least
if
we
we
could have
had-
gotten, we could have gotten a few more players with quality, right? Do
Yeah.
not go out there and embarrass ourselves. Let's hope we don't, right?
And he didn't. It didn't work out. But if we had if we had Morgan Gibb White, right? Okay, now we have those 5 guys we said at the back. We're gonna have Bentancur and Paulinho in the pivot. Then we'll have Morgan Gibb White at our 10.
Okay. Winter signings.
Now it's not perfect, but how much better do you feel just for that? Now we have a proper player who's quality in the 10. Just that one addition makes us seem better. I don't think we'd win, but I'd feel so much better that we have that player again. And it's so easy to just make it slightly. And then if you said, oh, if we would have got Grealish in 2 weeks ago, now you have Grealish, Morgan Gibb White, and Kudos. Then whoever we have, even if it is Solanke, even if it is Richie, like it's not ideal, or Johnson in the 9, Matt, you can feel like Johnson is going to maybe be able to get on the end of some of those chances created by Grealish, by Morgan Gibb White, by Kudos. Not ideal, but they can get on the end of it. And that's
And
two
you know what?
we easily. I mean, I know I'm just using Morgan Gibbs White as the example, right? There's other players that it could have been, but
No, but Scott, it just came to me, right? It gave me a scary thought, right? When I saw in the Bayern game when Frank substituted Spence for Davis, I was going, oh shit.
I saw that as well. I was like, yeah.
Imagine if this is going to happen in the PSG game.
Do you think he might start Davies?
He will start Davis, but whenever he takes,
no.
If he takes out Spence, right, Davis has to come in.
Yeah, I mean, if the left wing goes out, or if the left back goes back, even if Porro goes out, then we have to move Spence over to right back and put Davies in.
Yeah, I know. That's a sad thing.
I'm not saying I want him to start, but maybe because he's more left-footed, do you think he might play him there? I don't know.
No,
I think because we have nobody else, he might come on in
will
like
he
the
go-
70th minute. But
Yeah, but will he go into 3 at the back for this game?
Yeah, like a 3-5-2 or something, or 5-4-1, or
I don't. I mean, I don't know if you want
way-
to just go to a 3 at the back, having never played it at all at any time in preseason.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Craig's
I've
like
seen
a
a split.
miracle.
Yeah. But guys, score predictions.
PSG 3, Tottenham 1.
We can't even
Does-
score, bro.
I'm just trying to be hopeful.
I'll say 4-1 with a set piece. We get a set piece goal.
I don't even think we can score, right? I gave the analogy, Scotty, right? It's like an old gumless, old toothless person with gums who keeps trying to chew on you, and it doesn't.
Oh no, I mean,
I
I'm trying to do it to be positive. Like I know.
Yeah, I want positive, right? Just to be realistic. Last time I don't know, 3-0 will be a reasonable score to be positive. All right.
Yep. I said 4 because I saw like yesterday against Bayern is when we lost it. The guys just put their heads down, and I think it could be the same situation as they kind of put their head down and they they dominate us all game long and then put a couple in at the end because we're just done. You just want to get out of there. So I think the best chance we have is for a goal is from a set piece. I think Poirot's look quality putting them in. We've looked better. So I think maybe something happens. We get it in. It bounces off 3 PSG defenders and falls to somebody, and we kick it in, and we get excited. It's 1-1 after 10 minutes.
We go 1-0 up.
That ricochet, and then they destroy us the rest of the way.
We go 1-0 up, and then
and our fans are like, "Hey, we're winning it all," because that's what our fans do, right?
That means we're going to get that consolation goal early, right?
We are winning it all, and then Frank out. All in the same game. So
we're doing the Queen, right? Yeah, not even quadruple, or treble, or double. We're doing the Queen. Yeah, we're going to get this first cup done.
But
we're going to win it all, man. We're going to win it all.
Yeah, we're all deludedly positive. We have to be, That's how we won the Europa League, guys. I was totally deluded, and that's how we got the cup. Look at that. Look at the beautiful cup. Look at it. Yeah, look at it. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're not playing Man United now. We're playing PSG. So I don't know if we can have the same.
But stranger things have happened, right? Stranger things have happened. You never can tell, Scotty, right? Whenever they're stranger powers, they're pulling the strings.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one-off game. PSG's had a long summer. We don't know what their mindset's going to be in here. Maybe it's not impossible, but I think if PSG comes fully motivated, then honestly, it is pretty much impossible.
We're done. There's no way we're going to win.
If they come fully motivated, fully ready to go, and they want to take it and win this game, I don't see how we can win.
Guys, I'll be honest with you, right? If PSG had won the Club World Cup, right, this wouldn't be that much of a importance to them. But I think after losing to Chelsea in the Club World Cup, they ain't gonna come here and lose to another English team in another cup. I think that's what Luis Enrique will put it to them. But don't worry, maybe the English team is a hoodoo to the PSG kind of thing, right? Yeah, but PSG did beat Arsenal, right, in the semis, was it, or quarters? Yeah.
PSG put out like all the English teams, didn't they? They beat Liverpool, Arsenal,
Man City,
Villa.
Oh, Villa?
Didn't they put out Villa? Or maybe they played Villa in the
group stages.
I know they beat a whole bunch. And then did they beat City?
I'm not sure.
I think they did. They had like a whole list of them. They destroyed all of the Premier League teams. They beat us. They beat everyone. Oh, Madrid. Yeah. But they beat a lot of Premier League teams in the Champions League. So
Arsenal. I think.
Yeah, Arsenal too. Yeah, we know Arsenal. There was a song, right? Yeah. All right. Any more topics?
Well, nothing really, because we've not signed anyone. I mean, Madison's out. Madison's out. There's nothing really.
Guys. Okay, one more. Your thoughts on Sonny? Hey, big up, JJ.
Oh yeah. I think it was the right time for him to leave. But as usual, we haven't lined up a replacement. Obviously, he's here for 10 years. Obviously, he kind of outperformed what we all thought he would do, because in his first season, not everyone, but a lot of people actually wanted him to get sold. But he kind of became him and Kane were like our best players for like what 5 years, maybe longer.
The dynamic duo.
But I think it was his time to leave because he won the trophy. He came here to win, really, like a trophy as the captain of the club. So I think it was kind of the right time, and also his age as well. It probably was the right time. But I wish him the best, and I think he will come back as a club ambassador, 100%. Like, I think it's almost a done thing, really.
Yeah, Scotty, your thoughts on Sonny?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it was perfect time for him and the club for him to leave. Right, he won the trophy. He gets to walk away as a hero, as we've seen with some of the, most people use Hugo as a great example of a guy. Hugo was great for Spurs. He was great for us, but a lot of people have bad feelings and talk about how crap he is because of his last season. But so I think it's time. He needed to go, and I'll say, like, people get upset, like. I still think he's the best left wing we have at the club right now. But it was time for him to go. And the solution isn't, well, keep Sonny. It's get better than Sonny and Tell and Odobert, right? I think it was time for him to go. I think great. He was great. It doesn't, he's one of the legends. I call him a legend. I know that's a debate and I understand people who say he isn't. I think he's a legend. I think he was a great player for us, and I wish him all the best. I think LA will be a great place for him personally. I think that the concern might be, is he taking a step down in the competition? Should he have stayed in Europe to kind of stay at the top of his game? But we've seen guys who have gone to the MLS and still managed to play for their national teams and be fine. I think LA, he'll be loved out there in LA. He'll be adored. It'll be great. So there we go. Like, great for him, but it was time for him to leave. And I think some of the people, getting overly worked up about, we're gonna miss this and that. Yes, we might miss his goals from last season, but the solution isn't to keep him; it's to improve the left wing position, because that's what you want to do as a club, improve yourself. And now is a perfect time for him to go. So.
Scott, don't you think that part of the problem is that, and bear in mind, I'm with you. We should buy someone to replace Son. That's better. Do you think that's part of the problem because the club doesn't, in advance buy someone? Like Liverpool, for example, they bought Frimpong, and he'll probably take over from Salah after like a year, possibly. And they buy players in advance, like they did with like Diaz to replace, was it Mane maybe? And they buy them like a year in advance. And they say
we're not proactive. We're always reactive, right, guys?
And I'm worried. That's what worries me is when we see and hear, not just hear, what they said the other day about, the club likes Tell and Odobert, so they're not buying a left wing. I mean, we don't have to believe it, but when we see that then they don't buy anyone else, then we have to believe it. Yeah, we are terrible at bringing people in. And part of it is, I don't want to blame the fans, but you hear the fans, right? If we bring so and so in, he's going to have to be a backup behind somebody. Well, that's okay. Like, that's what City does it great, right? Like, they have Savinho lined up, they have Doku lined up, they have these players lined up to come in and play when their players are gone. They don't worry. They bring in Vardiol, great center back, and they already have Diaz and Ake and Stones and all those other guys. And they don't say, where is he going to play? They put him out on the left for a little bit, or they rotate him in, and now he's ready to take over. He's going to be a monster for them for 10 years at center back. And we never do anything like that. Like, we shouldn't, like you said, we shouldn't be saying, oh no, Sonny's gone and he's now, where are we going to replace him? We should be saying, oh great, now we have Matoma here. He's already here. He's replacing. We don't have to worry about it. And then we can just celebrate Son leaving because we don't have to worry. That's the one thing. I do think maybe it's diminished it a little bit. Is now we're getting into arguments. It's like, oh no, we need Sonny here. We can't let him go. But if we had somebody, a quality left wing in here already, we'd feel more comfortable letting him go. But we just don't. Yeah, we never do it. Now we're looking around, right?
Yeah. Eugene, how do you feel about Sonny?
Of course, my captain, right? True legend, right? Proud of him. Only Asian Golden Boot winner, right? And of course, only captain to lift a European trophy, right? The only thing I can say, I'm also proud of him because he knew it was his time to go. He knew it was time to make space, right, for someone to step up. Unlike other players who are still there, taking up the dead space, right? Like we got a striker there who's taking up dead space, right? We've got a left back, right? Left wing back or whatever who takes up dead space, who doesn't want to move on, right? But some people say that it's experience, it's good for them to be there. They are mentors and all the BBB blah blah blah, right? We should move on. We should get new players in. We should know how to refresh our squad. Simple as that. Spurs has not been able to refresh their squad for a long time because I don't know whether the fans are too sentimental or our owners are too greedy because of every player they buy in. They want to make
both.
and they want to profit out of them. I'm sure the fans are sentimental, but the owners are the ones who don't want to sell them because they want to make a profit off them. If they don't get the best out of the best deal, the deal that they want, it's their prerogative. They don't want to sell, but we get stuck with the dead wood, right? There's so many shitty players that have been stuck at Spurs, right? And we accept them, right? Players like who and who, right? We got a whole list of them, right? You can put it on there. All I can say, right? Oh yeah, Harry
disappeared, so I don't know whether. Yeah, anyway.
Okay. Yeah, the thing's gone way.
I put it in a few times now, but anyway, here's it again. Yeah.
Because no, Alex, you can't get it from my channel. You got to go over to Harry's channel.
Oh, he's not. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're running up to two streams, but because it doesn't appear from my channel. Right. And guys, this is I'm streaming direct from Hazspur TV, so Harry's got all the links and all that.
Power.
Right. So
like leaving all the power.
Oh, the power. Yeah, you got the power. Yeah. No, but I'm saying.
But anyway, but like what I'm saying mainly is the fact that forgetting the whole like preparing for them to leave. I mean, because we don't replace them in the sense that because we rely on these first team players so much, it's not like there's someone there to say, look, just even though we lost Sonny, we still have, because we loaned out Mikey Moore as well. Like I would have thought if we're gonna keep Tel Odobert, you might as well keep Mikey Moore if we're gonna go down that route.
That shows, right, Harry, that's what the club intends, for Tel and Odobert to be on the left. We ain't gonna get an Eze in. We ain't gonna get a Leao in, right, to cover that position because all the while we already know Sonny is leaving. It's not that we found out yesterday, right? And like you said, our club doesn't do it proactively; we do it reactively. So we get stuck with all these.
It's just, I don't understand it. Yeah. So Sonny, he won, the European Cup with us. I'm happy for him, but like what I'm saying is because even though he's even though he's on decline and he's like what 33, 34 now, the fact that we're still talking about trying to keep him, even though he's a player on the decline, kind of sums up the fact that we have so many problems on the wing because we shouldn't still be talking about Sonny in the decline as like the best player on the wing, really. I mean, he's not even really a proper winger anymore, is he? Really?
Sonny has been in decline for the past 2 years. What has the club done?
Yeah.
Brought in an Odobert, brought in a Tel. So why can't we see it? That is our ambition. That's how high our ambition levels are. All right. Big up to Lone Wolf. Hope you're doing well.
Right. With Odobert, they're going to give him another year regardless because he signed the year before. But in terms of Tel, I saw nothing last season to get me excited that this guy was going to turn into some amazing player.
All right.
Why did we sign him?
Yeah. Big up to Jasper. Right.
Big up Jasper.
Yeah.
Jasper. I think it's Jasper, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Jasper. Yeah. Jasper, are you? I'm not sure. Is it the one that linked to Dan E? Let me think. Right. Let me know in the chat.
Is it?
I'll give you guys a shout out too. Right.
Yeah.
Give some guys some awareness.
Isn't that Harley? Or am I wrong? Is that Harley?
Oh, that's Harley.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Can we still donate to that? I need to message Dan because I missed this. I saw a bit of the stream, but he didn't have the link in the chat when I was watching. Then I had to go out somewhere, so I didn't see it. Is it still there? I need to message Dan about that so I can send it something.
Yeah, we'll get to Dan about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget.
Your MVP. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Elias isn't coming on. I'm not seeing him in the back, so I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know. I don't know where he's at the moment. Right. Unless you want me to send it to him on private DM. You didn't read my.
I mean, you can if you want. I put the link in the chat for like 3 times now. 4 times he's still not popping up. So
Yeah, let me get. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's.
because I want to wait a few
Naked.
minutes in case he turns up.
I don't know. Maybe he's naked somewhere.
And that's TJ.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's TJ. Guys, to tell the truth, right? It's not that we've not seen this before, right? But I think it's a bit more what I call painful is because I can't do this. Oh, you guys go ahead, man. While I'm trying to get this done.
I think when you're talking
sorry.
about Mikey Moore,
Yeah.
I think it kind of shows the problem we have. And if we already have Tell and we have Odebert, I don't know if we can have Mikey Moore there. Like that's too young. It's the one thing when people talk about Fofana, the guy Malik Fofana from Lyon. I really like him as a talent, but I'm not sure I want 3 young wingers. And it's kind of the same thing. Like I don't understand why we needed Tell when we already had Odebert, when we already had Mikey Moore. We already have Yang. Like we have a lot of young, promising wingers already. Why did we need to add another one for that much money? That much money again.
It's like Gray as well, though, Scott. Who spent 40 million on Gray? We could have bought a first.
And we brought in Bergvall at the same time. Like, I'm not saying I'm an expert. I know people get mad. Like, you're not a football manager. I'm not a football manager. But I can see the fact is if we have Bergvall and we have Gray, and they both need time, and they both can't start in the Premier League, how are we getting them enough game time at the positions they're supposed to play? So then what we saw with Gray is he's bouncing around everywhere. And that's fine. If that's what Gray is going to be now, is a utility player, which I hope we're not spending 40 million to get a backup center back, right back, part-time midfielder, then fine. But it's just how do we fit all these guys in and get them the game time that they need? And I don't think that the club ever seems to think about that. I could be wrong, but their actions show me is that they don't think about how is this going to work as an overall team, right? How is it going to work to have Tell and Odebert? Is that what we're doing now? They're going to be 2 players who are 20, 21, and now that's going to be the core of our team, of our attack going into.
Is it? I think Oliver Skip is the last player that we see that actually has come through the academy, right? And he didn't do too well.
Yeah. But you know what? You say that, Eugene, and this is one of my problems when I have people saying, "Hey, why don't we have our youth players here?" But we mock Skip. When Skip was going on loan, we sent him to Norwich, who was challenging for the championship, right? All of our players that we have sent out are going to League One or bottom of the table championship teams. Like, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert on the youth, but if the best level that they can get is low-level championship teams in League One, that kind of shows what their value is around football, right? And that's concerning, is that these guys aren't going to the top championship level teams because those teams can't afford to bring them in. And we mock Skip, but say what you do want about Skip. He was able to play for a team that was competing, and I think they got promoted that year, right? Yeah, he was a starting player for 35 games for them that year for a team that was competing for the championship title. And none of our players right now are going to that level. None of our youth players are going even to that level. Now, Skip isn't good enough, and it's worrisome that he's our best example of youth player for the last 5 to 10 years, probably till Harry Kane. But man, it's concerning that none of our young players are even matching what Skip did on his loan. Other than Vuskovic. I think when Vuskovic gets loaned out, I think he'll be going to he'll go to a quality club. I think he's somebody. I don't want him starting for us right now, like some of our fans do. But I do think he's a player who I have a young player who I have a lot of hope for. I think.
Scott, Vuskovic ain't going anywhere because we ain't going to buy another center back for cover. You watch and see.
Well, we have Davies. We have, like Has said, Archie Gray. He's our backup center back cover. We're good.
Archie Gray. Oh, wow.
But like what I'm saying with it, obviously we had more already, but we went and signed Odobert and Tell and Bergvall and Gray and
Yeah.
Kai but we already had youngsters in the academy from there. So now you're blocking some of those youngsters coming through, like Ajayi, who looked quite good in that little cameo, for example, was a winger. So I don't understand the whole bringing the youth through because we're just signing more younger players to block our own youth coming through. And then but these young players we signed, they're not like little money. Like I have no issue with us spending 10 million on Bergvall or 5 million on Takai or like, 10, 15 million, 20 million maybe. But you drop 40 million on Great, 40 million on Tell. Like these were like first team signings, like first team level money for signings, really. Like it's just the way.
Tell and Odobert was 40 and 30, right? Give or take 40 million and 30
something
million
like
for Tell.
Something like that. You could buy one player to play for that.
And neither, even the people who I know, even, Phil Coys was here, Sean, he talks a lot about Tell. They like Tell. I don't think either of them want him to start for us, right? Like, does anybody really, even the Tell fans don't really want him. We're spending 70 million on two players, and really, we don't think either one is good enough to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that fair to say? How can we, I just don't get how we spend 70 million. Buy one, even one I don't love, but at least it's one. But if you had Odobert right now, and then you had that 40 million, and we bought, I don't know who's the left wing for 40 million. I can't even.
But no, Scott, we come back to guys. We come back to the same problem again. We don't build on good and quality players, right? Remember when Conte came and said, right? He said this, right? If every transfer window we buy 60 to 70 million players, 3 or 4 of them, right? Instead of spreading it all around, right? We will build a good quality squad, right? With a mixture of the youth from our academy and all that. But we've never done that. You can say now, right? Archer, I'll take Mitoma anytime, right? Don't forget we got another Mitoma there, right? Hard to say. Maybe Lange is in the background, right? In the shadows, right? In the dark and in the shadows, hiding in some dark alley. Yeah, hiding in some dark alley, right? Trying to do the Mitoma deal.
What I'm saying is, like what Scott was saying about the two players costing, say, like 70 million together. You could easily say drop the 70 million on just because they're in the chat on Mitoma, right? And then have Mikey Moore's like the backup to that position. That'll be a better choice for me than having Tell and Odobert, two youngsters who are they really that much better than Moore? I don't know. But like it just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather just have Mitoma and Moore as my left-sided options because one player is definitely going to be like really good, and then you can have more as like the backup player because that's what Liverpool do. A lot of the positions they have just a young player as the backup, like Curtis Jones. Obviously, Harvey Elliott's getting sold now. Even Arsenal do it with Wanyeri. He's going to be covering one of the positions apparently next season. And Miles Skelly, and apparently Mikey Moore's meant to be this amazing player anyway. Like, and you could even use some players on the left, like Richarlison in an emergency, for example, or some other players switching the wings. Because you still have like players like Johnson, unfortunately.
And guys, is that true, right? Mikey Moore going to Rangers
on Mitoma or Leao, whatever his name is called, tell me, and use Moore as the backup rather than dropping 40 and 30 on Odobert and Tell. Like, it's such a waste. Anyway, that's why
but guys, to tell the truth, right? The loan move for Moore to Rangers, right? Now I'm seeing what Rangers are doing. I'm afraid even Moore won't get a chance to play Rangers. And we've played that much time. And Mr. B is a Brentford fan, right? Mr. B, you've been touted to be relegated, bro. Oh, yeah.
I'm worried. I like Brentford. I think they have a good story. Every time you see their fans, they seem nice. The owner seems pretty like a guy you want to have as your owner. But if they're losing Wissa and they're losing Mbuemo and they already lost Norgard and they lost Frank, I think they are real concerned that they could go down. We'll see what they do, but man, I would think they are. It's harder now. We've seen teams in the Premier League seem to be more like higher up than the Championship. Like,
and don't forget, right?
So now those teams seem to go down a lot more than they normally do, right?
Yeah. And Sunderland is doing the business, bro. They're having a much better window than us.
They just got promoted.
Yeah, I know. Sunderland, bro. Think about it. We're gonna talk about being, oh my God, outdone in the transfer window by Sunderland.
Oh, that's Elias. Hey, we're here now. Okay.
Long time no see.
Yeah, hope you're doing well.
I am.
Yeah.
How you been, Elias? I haven't seen you on stream for like,
Yeah,
I'm like
been
maybe
busy,
a year.
man.
Yeah,
Been busy with work and stuff, and yeah, a lot going
fair
on
enough.
lately.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
aren't
Mr. B says
getting
right.
relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about Trossard, but and Utara's they're trying to get him done. Yeah.
Replacement for Visa. Okay. At least you're getting some, names there. I mean, I know Trossard is an Arsenal player. Would you take Trossard on the left?
I would. I would. I know he's
Yeah,
not
why
that
not?
much better, but I would take him.
Yeah. My God. My gosh. Oh, right. Scotty, will you take
What are
Trossard
your
on the left?
thoughts on like Frank and everything?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what are you talking about? Frank and Ange? What? Frank
And
was
everything.
Your thoughts on everything that's been happening in this summer transfer window?
Look, I mean, I think that nothing different. Like, I mean, I am at that stage. Like, I don't have really, like very high expectations from the transfer window, anyways. The signings that we have made so far, I think, like yesterday, you can see Kudus. He was good. I think among the front three, he was the best, and then Polini also. I think he had the first 45 minutes. He played very well. Like the way he dispossessed, like he does the proper job of a number 6, and I think that's where that's what we have been lacking. Look, for the rest of them, I think we all know that there are no high expectations from the kids, anyways. So, I mean, the business that we have done so far is enough, but I think more is enough, as in terms of like they are providing what we need, but we need to do a lot more than that. Like we need to address a lot of issues in the area of like left back, and then we need a left winger now. At least left back, left winger, and creative attacking mid is the minimum that we should be doing now before the transfer window. It ends on 31st August, is it? This is the last
September.
month, right? Oh,
1st
1st September.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've only
so
got 3 weeks. You know that we've only got 3 weeks till the window closes.
yeah, we only got 3 weeks actually. So yeah, I think we should be going out and like address these particular areas. Yeah.
Mm. And Frank,
What
like,
what,
are you
what
happy
do you
that
mean by
he's here?
Mr.
Or-
Beehive? What's disrespectful? Sorry. Like
No, he's not talking about you.
No, he's just
Someone-
joking about Brentford because Guy said to get him down.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's
Yeah,
just
right.
all funny.
Yeah.
You said Trossard, like that's it. Trossard, I know he's Arsenal, so we'll hate him, but like he double-digit goals in the Premier League in the past. Bring him in now. Odegaard's behind him. He's not. Trossard is a good quality player, and if Odegaard's great, then you pass him, and he's the starter, right? And if you're not good enough to pass him, like that, somebody Trossard and Odegaard far better than Tell and Odegaard together. Now you have somebody who's actually there doing it. That's an example of the play. Like yeah.
I think we need wingers, Scott, who can not only just cross well, but who can actually pose a goal threat in the goal as well. The problem with most of our wingers is like you have Johnson, you have all those guys. They are not a threat in the goal, so like they don't occupy a man. Like people know that okay, they will when they go into the far end of the pitch, they would the opposition would not mark them, or like they will not occupy their man. They would know that okay, they will make a cross, so they will like try to dribble past, and then they will just cover the goal only. If you have a player who can actually provide a goal threat in the goal, then you have that added pressure on your opponent, which we really don't right now. Like we had Sonny who could do that, but now he's gone. And then even Lucas Moura, I think when he was around, he could do that. He gave that
Yeah.
threat actually in the right wing. Just a few days ago, I was watching one of the reels when he actually scored that goal. Like he knew how to like find spaces at least. Now we don't have even the wingers who can find the spaces and then go on one-on-ones. Like that's the state we are in. Like I was just talking to Eugene yesterday. The way you see Bayern was playing yesterday, their wingers were the ones doing the job for them actually, and we don't
Yeah.
have that in our team.
Yeah, we know we're weak on the wings apart from the right. You got Kudos there, and Brennan doesn't do much whenever he's running down with the ball. He can't cross the ball, but he's good at doing those tap-ins. Like you said, you need a goal-scoring winger, which is nowadays that we don't do much of that anymore, which is called goal scoring, right? I mean, during the preseason, we haven't seen many goals coming in, right? It wasn't much of a spectacle for us, but maybe I don't know. The focus now could be on the defense, right? We have to get the defense right. I've always said, I think we all believe that we have to build from the back, get a strong defense in, and start building upwards, right? At the moment, I guess this could be the first window that we see that we do that, right? But the only problem is that we're going to play PSG in how many days' times, all right? At least 5 days, in 5 days or something. Yeah. And Elias, your prediction for PSG?
Oh, it's a tough one actually. I would say 4-1 or 5-0, one of those.
5-0.
I can see a thrashing.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say maybe can save us is, like I was talking about that in the chat earlier as well. I think the defense under Frank does look much better. Yesterday, I mean, definitely it was a friendly, so there was like that added pressure. You have to like show some creativity and like try to score goals. But I think the way Frank organized the defense yesterday in the first half, if he were to keep things organized in that way for the game against PSG, I think we have a chance to like make a 1-0 win, a sneaky 1-0 win, or a win on pens, So I think they do the pens for Super Cup, right?
Yeah.
I know somebody has got to win it, right? So most of it
someone has to win it. I mean, someone has to win it.
So I think I could see us only in those situations winning it, like a sneaky 1-0 win or a pen. Yeah.
No, that's true, right? We only
as long
think
as it's
that we can
respectable scoreline, I'm fine with it. As long as even if we lost 2-1, that's respectable, I guess. So, like, but I just don't want us to fold. Like, we're like, if we get our heads down, we just stop. But I'm worried. I mean, I don't know how we're going to hurt them.
Yeah, we don't have the attacking power.
Our attack is
Park the
awful.
bus, man. Park the bus.
No, we park the bus, right? We can't even counter attack, right? With the we've seen
there's no outlet. Yeah. There's no outlet. We can't get out.
We've seen Richarlison run down on the goal, and he can't even score the goal. So
I mean, park the bus and take it till the pens, I would say.
Oh, I mean, a 0-0 kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
I don't think we can hold them off enough like that. Like, if we try to sit back, they'll eventually break us down and get us. Like, we have to at least give our, like, again, that's what I think happened a lot in that second half. Why it got to 4-0 against Bayern is because we just gave the ball away so much that Bayern eventually is like, we're just going to come after you with 25 waves of attack, and eventually you make a mistake, right? So I think, it would be nice, like 10 men behind the ball, everybody in our box just standing there. That might be able to limit it. But I think if we have, like we saw yesterday, no ability to control the ball for just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to relieve a little bit of that pressure, that we're going to get. Eventually, it'll just kill us.
Is Solanke coming back for this game, though?
Somebody said something.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's been safe for this game, right? But the thing is that would he be fit enough?
Well, if you have a striker there, if he's fit, I think Frank would start him, because, like, you see, with the strikers usually they are okay one lah. But if I think if Solanke plays and then you play Richarlison on the left and then Kudus on the right, I think there are still some chances there. You can play like Bentancur, Bergwall, and Polinia in the midfield.
Yeah, I like. That's the team I would play, to be honest, if Solanke's fit, because Ace Richarlison, to be fair to him, was probably our best player in the final on the left. Like, he was actually pretty good, to be fair. He's putting in crosses, so maybe we could do something that way, playing just a bit more hard working on the left. I don't know, but
I think our best chance is to try to get set pieces, like get that ball, move it, especially through Poro up the wings, Spence running up the wing, like trying to get it in there, get the ball up there, hope piece. It sounds kind of defeatist, but I think that's our best chance, is get that ball away. We got to move that ball out away from our goal. And the problem I have with our midfield is I just don't see who's doing that job in the midfield. I think.
By the way, who is Bayern's right winger? Is it Dembele?
Coleman?
No.
Olise?
Yeah, Ulise,
Not
Coman,
Bayern. Sorry, PSG's right winger.
Do
Hakimi.
you mean Doué? Doué?
Hakimi is right wing back. Yeah, is it Dembele who plays on the right? No, right.
He plays in the middle, doesn't
Dembele
he?
plays in the middle for them now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Usman Dembele in the middle.
Let me see. Who did they play with Chelsea?
There's Vala, Doué, and Dembele.
Oh, Doué.
Their front three.
Doué.
I don't
Well,
know
I
who
think
plays
if
left
we
and
are,
who plays right. I think Doué plays right, doesn't he?
yeah, Doué plays on
I
right.
think-
Okay.
I think-
So it'll be a Doué and Spence we'll call face off, right?
It will
If
be
it's-
bad, I think.
No,
Spence will
maybe
get the
Spence might do a good job, right? If it turns out to be a Doué and Ben Davis face off, we are screwed.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Actually,
it's gonna
I
be-
would rather put Van de Ven on the left and not play Spence. I don't know. I think I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Spence is very good on the left, but I'm not very impressed. Like yesterday as well. You see
If
that
you put Van de Ven on the left, right? That means you're going to use Danso and Romero.
yeah, why not? I think Danso is quite decent as a center back.
Then you won't have. Oh no, if you that means there's a chance if someone's get injured or whatever, you need to take him off. Who's your next
Exactly.
defender coming out?
Because you don't
No,
have.
I think
any
we need.
other-
I think we need Spence there for defensively on the left.
Actually, I feel
I've criticized Spence, but I've been impressed with him defensively. I worry about what he does after the tackle with the ball. Spence is that he makes some poor
I think
decisions.
he
and
loses
gives the ball up
Scott,
too much.
he loses possession a bit too much though.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
he's good defensively, and then when he gets the ball, you're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Another
Spence?"
thing is like if you look at Doué, he's very physical. Like I don't think Spence is the kind of left back who can get very physical with the attackers either. Like he can dribble, he can rely on his dribbling and all that. But I think with Doué, he's gonna have a hard time.
Well, everybody's Doué is going to give anybody.
That's
That's the problem when we're playing PSG.
No, I think with
guys, the thing is that we don't even know who's going to be playing for PSG, right? We do know who's going to play for Spurs, right? Because PSG has had a long season, right? They could have put up. I mean, the players need at least 3 weeks of vacation. So I think after the Club World Cup, by the time they come back, they most probably be in about first or second week of training, right? So, but we have not seen PSG play any friendlies, apart from the Club World Cup.
No.
Right, playing up to us, right? Hard to say. Stranger things might have happened, right? Like what Elias says, right? We sit back and then we get a bozo moment from PSG and we get a bozo kind of goal, right? And win 1-0 or some kind of that, right? And then the whole Spurs fan base will become super reactive to it. So you know what I'm saying.
Gray at left back.
Gray at left back. Yeah, Gray's played all across the back.
Gray even fit though. I haven't seen him recently as well.
He played well, bro. He played in the Bayern game. Yeah, he played on Bayern.
Did he play in the Bayern game?
Yeah, he played in the Bayern game.
He came on, yeah.
Yeah, came on.
He's been fine. I think I've seen a lot of people saying how he's been really good. I think that's because the bar is low. I think he's been better at midfield than I've seen him in other times, but I don't think he's shown anything that would make you change your opinion on him from before in the preseason.
By the way, I'm one thing I want to criticize Frank a little bit on is like when he played Vuskovic for the first game. I think Vuskovic had a very decent, not a very decent. I would say he had a good game. The first friendly that we played, and then since then, actually, we haven't seen Vuskovic at all. Like, why? I mean, why are we not giving him some minutes? I think he is good from what I've seen of his past as well, and then the performance that he put up the other day. His finishing is decent as well. I mean, why not we try and maybe fit him on one of the left back role, maybe, perhaps. He can be quite physical as well.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I don't think he can play left back.
Yeah, no, but the thing is that I think Vuskovic, right? Was he in the subs for the Bayern game?
He was in the subs for the Bayern game.
Yeah, he did come on in the last few minutes, right?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. All right, but at least he's one of the youngsters as a sub, right? So
even Danso didn't come on as well.
Danso didn't come on as well. That's the weird thing.
No, Danso didn't come on. Van de Ven and Romero played the whole game.
Oh yeah, Benevent
But
and
like,
Romeo played the.
like that's a bit silly, right? Like it was a friendly, and you know that these two guys are the ones who are like the one of the, I think they are decent, good defenders. I won't say decent, they are good defenders, but they are the kind of guys who are very injury prone. Like, why you want to play them whole game in a friendly against Bayern? Like, rotate a bit, like
I don't know.
get
Maybe I guess Frank needs to see the understanding that they have, right? So he needs to make a decision what his back line is going to be. Yes, don't be surprised.
I
when
think
he's
Vucevic is going out, so I think Frank knows what, like, he's seen all that he needs to see. Vucevic is going out on loan, so
I think that's a bit harsh though, because like
he needs to
because
go. I mean, if he needs to go on loan, maybe somewhere in the Premier League, right? Not go back out on loan somewhere in Europe. That's all I said. If he goes somewhere alone in the Championship and the Premier League, then it'll be a good fit for him. If not, then I don't even know why we bought him, right? But we always do that, right? We buy players and don't play them as regulars or
well, I think there was a link for him going to Germany. I think that's a good fit for him. I'm not worried. Like I said, I'm not worried about him.
was it a Frankfurt one?
To Hamburg, I think it was that he was.
Hamburg.
I don't know if it's true, but I think like
Bundesliga,
Bundesliga for him
Hamburg-
would be a fine fit. I just want him to go somewhere and play 35 games. 35 games, 75 minutes more. I don't think keeping him here makes sense. He can't play in the Premier League. Like, he's not ready for the Premier League. Then he's only getting a few hit or miss games here and there. I think if you can get Vucevic to go out to a Bundesliga team where he's like they're like playing week in, week out, that's the best thing for him. Because he has all, we can see the skill is there, but he's only had like one season in Belgium. That's not enough for me. Like, get him playing time, get him playing, get him to learn what he has to do. 35 games a year. What happens
you see,
when you're in February and you got a bad knee?
He's been playing in Westerlo.
Kind of stuff, right?
No, has he been playing in Westerlo for the past 3 seasons? 2 seasons?
No, he only played in Belgium 1 year. The year before that, he was in Poland, I think.
He was in Croatia. No. So he was in Hajduk Split, which is a Croatian club.
Croatia, yeah. I just picked this Croatian.
The one that was that's from where we bought him. Then he was on loan actually at this club called Radom, which is a Polish club, and then he was at Westerlo, the Belgian club. Yeah,
he played 1 year in Belgium and half a season in Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not, again, I like the guy. I think he's going to do well. I just think he needs time. He's played 35 game season in Belgium. Send him out there, let him play, let him be a top guy, let him.
How old is he again?
Play.
18.
He just turned 18 in February or something like that, didn't he?
Well, he doesn't look 18 though. He looks much older.
He turned 18 in February. Like, give him that time. I think he's a guy. Go out, get a good loan, play all that time. That's perfect. Then you bring him back next summer. And the next summer you play him a lot. You play him in that Bayern game and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a long way to go for him, really, to be honest.
And it's okay because again, like he's been 18 for 6 months. Like, let him. I think we get a little concerned. Like, it's fine if he comes back and he's 19 playing center back in the Premier League. That's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, but Scott, didn't we have Ashley Phillips? And most of the fans said the same thing about Ashley Phillips as well. And where is he now?
But Ashley Phillips I don't think Ashley Phillips has near the talent of this kid.
Well, he does have a talent, though. He's quite talented.
Like, Ashley Phillips is, I think, 21 years old, went to championship last year for Stoke. I don't know where they finished, but I think it's mid-table of the championship, and he was okay there. Like, that's the difference for me, is that...
I think Ashley was in Blackburn, was he?
Yep, he was in Blackburn, then he was in Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are not, like, top-end championship clubs that are competing... at the top of the he's for an okay middle of the table, lower table championship sides, and he's doing okay there. Like, that's, to me, there's a different level between that and Vucevic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had Joe Rodon as well.
Yeah, don't forget we got a certain player called Jet Spence.
Sorry.
I thought he can go on loan for a season away, and then if he comes back, that we're okay. But maybe not. I don't know. Home train, club train.
I think it's club trained is till they have to be there till they're 21, if I'm not wrong. I think
That is to meet the Champions League requirement, right? But you're talking
Yeah,
about
I won't pretend to know all the details because there's all.
By
This
the way,
is why
are
we
we
were linked with
meeting?
Madaway K and all these other ex-Spurs players, Edwards, Sirkin, because they thought they were going to buy one of those. Cole Peters was another one to fill that quota for the Champions League.
For the Champions
Yeah.
League, yeah.
They're not
But
done
But
that
by
yet.
the way,
again-
are we fulfilling that Champions League and Premier League quota of like homegrown and all
It
that?
doesn't.
nonsense?
Those things get overblown. Liverpool and City didn't play a full side last year in the Champions League. They didn't have enough players either. Liverpool didn't registered 23 players for the Champions League, not 25.
Okay.
Yeah, you only have got a certain spots for the non-academy or homegrown players in the Champions League. That's why you don't have to
Because
register.
Bergvall doesn't count. Gray
Bergvall
doesn't count.
Yeah,
SAR doesn't
Lord
count.
Yeah. Oh,
Well
you're back.
done,
And
pretty
you're naked.
people. Yeah,
Like,
man, I'm
so-
naked. I can't believe the show's still going on, and I've just got home and I'm naked.
Naked TJ's back.
Naked TJ's back.
I mean, you would like to have homegrown players, but it's not as big of an effect
Yeah.
as people say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, look,
subscribe to my
British
OnlyFans.
alone.
Yeah, subscribe to my
Wow.
OnlyFans. Yeah,
Is that announced?
at TJ into Spurs exclusive on Hazspurs TV. Nah, sorry. How you guys been? You guys been all right? What are you talking
Yeah.
about now?
Yeah, we're talking about anything that we can talk about.
I heard you guys were talking about homegrown talent. What makes it weird is we're sending a lot of our youth out on loan that can fit the homegrown quota. Unless I'm mistaken, because all the loans we're putting out, don't they compete with the numbers as well?
Yeah, that's what I've been
I would think
questioning.
the
Right?
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but guys, there are two standards in the league. Premier League standard for homegrown means that anybody from the UK is considered homegrown. UK and Wales and Northern Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, is considered homegrown. But for the Champions League qualifications for homegrown, right, it's actually the home club trained or academy trained players that must be in the squad, and that takes up about 4 or 5 spots, right? So if you don't have enough, you don't have to sign them all up. If you have enough of the quality in your, foreign base or whatever players, that's how I see it. But at the moment, I don't know, right? We did that last season. Don't forget, right? In the Europa League, we instead of registering 25 players, we registered 24 players, right? Because we didn't have enough. So that's all I can say, right? That's all I can say. But at least now we know our levels were proven yesterday, right? By Bayern Munich, we are not there. We're not there yet. So I don't know how we're going to improve the transfer window. We know our transfer window, being Spurs fans, right? Yeah, we know our transfer windows are that, right? English train and club train means that you have to have UK or club for 3 years to qualify. Yep. That means, but you have to start from under 18 or something like that, right? To be considered.
So players like Albert, players like Lancashire, players like Mikey Moore, assuming players like who else? Would you class like players like Ashley Phillips and Dorrington as homegrown?
Dorrington, yes. Ashley Phillips questionable because we got him around 18, right? I'm not sure he has to be playing and trained under us for 3 years because the thing is that it's whether it's trained or academy trained. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, guys.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Yeah.
Train or academy train for the Champions League, right? But to tell the truth, it doesn't matter. We are Spurs, right? Most probably we won't have any youngsters. Most probably we just register 20 players then, right? For the Champions League.
Because TJ, when you were gone,
which is fine. Again, people make a big deal out about this. It means that maybe we just say, okay, Richarlison, you're not on our team for the Champions League. Like, again, Liverpool didn't register the players. City don't register the players. We are talking about having our 8th and 9th choice subs not there. So do we have U21s in our squad. We just said it. We have Bergvall. We have Gray. We have it's really not as big of a deal as people make out to be.
TJ, we were saying, because obviously they loaned out more. My suggestion was, instead of spending 30 million on Tel and 40 million on Odegaard, or whatever way around it was, just drop that 70 million on one player, say like Leao, what was mentioned in the chat, or Mitoma, and then have Mikey Moore's like the backup. Instead
Actually,
of having
Mitoma is not a bad shout.
That makes so much sense. Like, to be honest with you, we just need anybody. You know, we need, and look, we can't go into this new season starting with Tel and Odegaard. Like, for me, you're meant to be replacing a. Are we going to class Son a club legend? Yeah, he is. He spent a decade. He won us. Yeah, he won us a trophy. So you're essentially replacing a club legend with a Tel and an Odegaard. It's not good enough. Sadly,
bear in
it's
mind,
not.
Son, Kulusevski, Maddison all had 20+ goal contributions, each of them last season. Still, even though Son's on the decline, like he's not going to get any better. He's actually getting worse. They still had some of the highest goal contributions, even though we had obviously we finished 17th. But so you still need to replace those goal contributions. We're not going to get from
essentially. Essentially, for me, look, I know I've said this early on the show, but forget the planning, forget the future planning. You know, if you're thinking about the centre back, realistically, there's two positions that we definitely need before we start the season. And it's obvious. The attacking midfielder, we need that. And obviously the winger. And then obviously, if you can get another player, it would be nice, but it's not Tottenham to go out and beyond, you know. So these two players are realistic choices. It's realism as well. I'm not hoping. Tottenham should be signing two players.
100%.
What's the excuses? Look, okay, cool. Gibbs White, for example, and I know we're going back onto that conversation, but Gibbs White, look, cool. What happened, didn't it? When he's not a Tottenham, he's not going to be playing for Tottenham, right? Now, what's the excuse? Why haven't we gone for another attacking midfielder? It was in our plans. It was in our plans to get the attacking midfielder. Otherwise, we wouldn't have activated the release clause of however much, right? So it's not like it wasn't. It's not in our plans. It was in our plans. So what's the excuse? There's no excuse. So for the start,
we have 60 million at a bare minimum to spend on that position, really.
Even if we had 20 million, earlier we said, look, Grealish is an option as well. You don't have to spend millions. It's not like I'm expecting you to spend hundreds of millions.
If Everton can get Grealish on loan, why can't we? I don't get the problem. Personally.
You see my point. My point is this: the club is not reacting. We should have had these signings in. Forget the fact that the preseason has now ended. Right? We should have had our squad before we went to what do you call it?
On tour. Yeah.
On tour, yeah. Before we went on tour, we should have had our signings done. Because look, let's get it correct. Last season was a terrible season. The first time ever in my life seeing Tottenham finish that low. Look, I'm younger than most fans, right? So I haven't seen the good old naughty days, but that's the lowest I've seen Tottenham finish, right? And it's also the highest I've seen Tottenham be, right? Because we also won a cup, right? A bit of positives and a bit of negatives, right? Forget it, right? Forget if you're Ange in, Ange out. We had an injury crisis last year and the year before that. And you still haven't signed players. It makes no sense. There's no argument that you can put in front of me to say why we're still waiting. It makes no sense. There's no point of us moving to this stadium if we're not going to act like a club with ambition. And it was out of the devil's mouth in Levy. Whether you agree with him, you disagree with him. I want to win the title and I want to win Champions Leagues. Come on, Levy. That's my opinion. Come on. There's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
He's just lying again, bro. he lies through his teeth, right? It's shown in the transfer windows. It's shown throughout these 25 years he's been in charge, right? It's just all PR, BS, smoke and screen mirrors all over the place, right? After a
Well,
while,
I know of people who have done that, by the way. Rain Man.
But TJ said it perfect. Like we said, 60 million for Morgan's Gibb White, and it doesn't matter. Maybe they were willing to go to 60 million because he's great. But TJ said, there's the position is identified, and you don't have to spend 60 million on the next guy. There's somebody there. Fill the position, right? Because whatever they said, the position is needed. It's not us as fans saying it. The club showed us that they want. Like we know it as fans, of course, that it's needed. But the club showed us that's a position that they identified that they wanted to go out and get a player in. So now maybe you say, look, we are willing to pay 60 million because Morgan Gibbs White is the best player there. But even if you say, okay, maybe there's not another player that's 60 million, but if there's somebody who's 50 million, like 40 million, 30 million, the position is a position of need, and we need to bring somebody in there. And I'm not going to hear any nonsense about, well, it was only Morgan Gibbs White. Nobody else can fill it. Like, come on. That's insane. There's plenty of players that can fill that role. And the fact that we haven't addressed it was before we went to Asia is crazy. The fact that now that more that we have injuries and we're not addressing it is like, again, it just comes back to the same thing. It's just so poorly run. So poorly run. There's no excuse for it.
There's no ambition. That's the problem. You know, being ambitious is sometimes, look, I get, look, you in all business, in all forms of business, you don't want to be working in your negatives, right? So let's just say, for example, your squad value is 100 million, right? Or the item is worth £100. Make it simple. The item's worth £100. You're not going to want to sell the item for half price because you're going to lose £50. I get that. I get that in all business. You have to work within the wage structure, within the financial But right now, there's no ambition. There's zero ambition.
TJ, it's not right now. We don't have any ambition.
What's that Leicester player's name?
No, but it's not.
Sorry?
It's not. No, it's not right now. We don't have ambition.
Sorry,
we've never had ambition.
That Leicester player, I forgot his name. I can't say his name.
El Canus.
Yeah.
Oh, he is bang average, guys. Bang average.
Yeah. That's what we do. We get bang average players. You have seen that. That's why we don't show any ambition, and we haven't shown any ambition for the past how many years? 25 years, right? 3 transfer windows. We don't buy any players. That has regressed us how many years? And now we're playing catch up, guys. We're playing catch up to the teams up above us, right? And the worst part of whilst we're playing catch up, right? Teams like Newcastle, Everton have caught up with us. That's it. Even Brighton has caught up with us.
Stream or something.
I know.
Anyway.
The rumors started looking for 100 million.
There's no way.
We're not getting Morgan Rogers. That's a like David says, it's nonsense.
Let's not kid ourselves.
If you're not ready, look, let's be so real. If you're not ready to put 68 million down, or even start talking to Eze's representatives, how are we going to be putting 100?
What are we doing here?
You know, I want to see. Look, personally, it's obvious that we shoot ourselves in the foot before we even try and go for a player. Because money does talk. In life, money talks, right? Look, Eze's an Arsenal fan. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
He has a good connection with Arsenal, right? However, I'm saying this live. I'm a Tottenham fan, and I'm a diehard Tottenham fan. Nobody can take it away from me. However, if Arsenal, the scum, come calling me and they say, "Listen, here's some peas right here," maybe my head might turn. Money talks. Money definitely talks.
So you play
like generally
100 grand a week, honest, down Arsenal's wing, man, isn't it? TJ down Arsenal's wing.
You know what? Listen, I'll get so many red cards. Someone
But the condition that you have to do it naked.
Listen, bro. Listen, I'll do it. You know what? Yeah, I'll do a charity run, innit? Yeah, I'll do a charity run until.
By the way, guys,
go for it, my friend.
Did you guys hear that actually Burnley is like getting Ericsson as a free agent? I was
Yeah, I
like,
saw that.
why didn't we
That's such a
consider, like, why
yeah,
didn't we
that
consider that actually? Like
that's such a good signing. That makes
like,
so much sense for Tottenham to do. You're right. You're so right.
I mean,
You
I know he's not in his prime and all that, but you're not paying anything for
Yeah,
him, and the
he's
amount of
creative.
injuries
He's creative.
he's
So
creative. He has been there, and I mean, definitely, if you bring him in and just play him for the time being, like until Kulusevski gets fit or like Madison gets fit,
yeah,
I think that's no harm. Like if we really want to do like smart business, like why not do that?
Mm.
I don't get that.
How
No,
can we
Elias,
as
we
fans,
don't we don't
Elias,
do
Elias,
that.
how can we as fans think of better options than the club? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
But there's no
Like,
ambition. The
Like,
problem is there's no ambition. Simple. Simple. There's not. You don't even think of options like what he just said. You know what? You're
that's a
so right.
clever,
Look,
that's a clever option.
it's a very
That's like,
clever option. It fills a hole. You know how I know we're not ambitious, isn't it? Yeah. Look, we've got João Palhinha on loan, right? Which for me, I think it's a great signing. Personally, I don't know about
yeah,
you lot's opinion. I think it's a great signing, right? However, you know that's the cheaper option.
Who do you
Because
think the first option was?
what's stopping us from getting a Belieber, getting a Wharton? What's stopping us from getting them players?
80 to 100 million pounds.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But isn't
literally,
80 to 100 million isn't 80 to 100 million what they're worth?
yeah, that's what they want.
My
Both those
argument is, this is my argument. They're younger, so they are gonna improve in. Okay, I'm talking about Belieber and Wharton, right? They're younger, they can improve, they have a high ceiling, right? You pay for what they're worth. If we were really serious, we would pay for a Belieber. We would pay for a Wharton. However, because it's a cheap and an easy option, we get João Palhinha. And I'm not saying this is look. It might sound like it's a negative. I'm happy with the signing. I think it's an amazing signing. We desperately needed someone like João Palhinha. But you see my point. There's no ambition. You know, we decided to go for the cheaper option, and you know what ends up happening? You got United that are linked to Belieber. What if United end up buying Belieber? Now we can't buy Belieber. You see my problem? This is my problem. When you're not ambitious, you don't think. United could have done the same. Go for it, my friend.
Belieber is more attainable, in my opinion, because he has a year left on his contract. But I was reading today they want like 100 million or something. But
I think he's worth it.
If he's got a year left, surely we can at least negotiate the price lower because he's got a year left. So if they don't sell him now, he's going to go for free, isn't he? He's got a year left. Or am I wrong?
It's depending, right? You're selling to Manchester United, right? So you're going to squeeze every penny out of Manchester United because Manchester United will pay the money. They've paid a lot of bad money before, right? You're talking of us making bad signings. Manchester United made bad signings. Maybe now they've actually got some ID talent that bring in the talent, for Emery to do their things, right? So, but being Spurs, guys, we've been through this before. We talked about this before. Spurs have always been doing this during the transfer window. That's why I never do any actual transfer window shows on my channel, because I know that 99% of the ITKs, whatever that comes out and spews out, it's just for people like us, for people who do YouTube to make content and talk about it, right? If not, the whole of the summer transfer window, there will be no shows to be made. Simple as that. All I can say is at the moment now is that being a Spurs fan, we've not seen this before. We've been here before, right, for the past 25 years, right? We've always done this, right? On the precipice of greatness, right? Reaching a Champions League final, knowing what Poch needs, right? Never supplied it. The managers, to me, have become irrelevant. You get what I'm saying? The managers have always been here and they go. They come and they go and they come and they go. So at this moment in time, being frank, I will give him all my support, right? I'll give the team all my support, but being realistic, we've seen it before, right? So the only thing what we can do now is that a lot of people say, right, is that if you're not happy, protest.
We can pray. We can pray. No, bro, protest doesn't. It works, but we're not getting the flipping guy out. We need to pray. You need to pray to Allah, pray to God, pray to Jesus, pray to Buddha, pray. We have to pray.
Yeah, we're
We
gonna
have
pray.
to pray.
No, you have to pray and protest at the same time. Can't you do both? Why are you being a Spurs fan?
Oh, listen, you know what? Listen, I've been you know I'm a protester.
I
Come
know
on,
you're a
man.
I know,
protester,
bro.
you're
I
a big
went with
time
you, bro.
protester,
Yeah.
You
Bro,
pray and
listen,
protest at the same time,
I
yeah.
rally the crowd. Bro, I'm a protester.
Yeah.
I'm a big protester. It's just the problem is our fan base don't protest. You know what? You know what it is, isn't it? It's like the biggest problem that the protests have is not that many people jump
Stand
onto
up
the
and-
protests. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's a shame. It's a shame that it goes like that, but we need way
Matt,
more
mate,
numbers.
You were the one who said, and you were right in the end, that half of them people won't turn up as soon as we.
Actually, can somebody put the comment from David Clark? The Spurs fans were
Yeah.
crying for. Actually,
I
I
think
think
it's about Paulinho.
yeah, I think we already got Paulinho, but I think Gallagher is more of a number 10 than
Number 8.
than
Number 8.
I think he's a number 10, 8.5.
Number
Because
10.
if you look at the way he used to play for Palace, he shined in the number 10 role,
Yeah.
but he never played in the number 10 role for Chelsea.
I think
No,
it's a bit
Gallagher's,
risky.
you want him playing in the 8 box to
8,
box,
yeah.
moving around. I think in Palace where he was good is because he was more free to do everything. But
Yeah,
I think if you want Gallagher, you don't want him as the number 6. You want him as the number 8.
He's kind of similar to Papa Sarr in a way.
slightly different, I would say.
much better.
I think he's more creative.
No, he's much better. Yeah, but like
creative.
in what I mean by quite similar. Look, I'm not saying carbon copy. No. Gallagher's better than Papa Sarr. Let me make that clear. But like the playing style, energetic, up and down. You know, they're both kind of like similar in the way they play their football. Am I the only one that sees it?
I
Like
think
that? Maybe I'm
think
wrong.
you'd want Sarr to develop into that. I think if Sarr develops more technical skills, yes. But I think I can see what you're getting at, TJ, in terms of how they move around the pitch. Their motors, they have that same like they never stop. They're moving around the pitch. I think Sarr needs to develop some technical skills to get to Gallagher's 100%. Level. But I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. Haz, you were saying something before. We were talking about Gallagher, about the protests.
Yeah, because you were the one who said to me half of them people that were there won't be there. Was it in like a year? Or I can't remember what you said to me, something like that.
Yeah, most of them. I'll say it again, and this is not to offend any fan. Everybody's a fan in their own way. Everybody supports Tottenham in their own way. In fact, let me say it while I'm on the camera. It's just because I'm smoking in it. I don't want us to get banned in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, we get banned for smoking, anyway.
Nah. It's like it's respectful, innit? Respectful. If it was just me and you, Haz, you know me, man will blaze up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so basically, let me say exactly what I was gonna say so I don't offend, innit? All right, so our fan base is a bit up and down, innit? We're not true fans. Most of the true fans are not actually in the stadium, sadly. Like everybody supports Tottenham in a certain way, and I do appreciate all fans across the whole of the world, right? However, you can actually see physically in terms of like you were there, Haz. When we were protesting, you got 15 people just watching, 15 people just there to take pictures, 15 people that are there because they're forced to be there. They're not really protesting. They're there for the day out. The true diehard fans, the diehard Tottenham fans that want the club to be better, that want us to win titles, that want us to be better than where we are. There's just not that many of us. Sadly, it like you see it because it's a day out for everybody. Put it like this, innit? Yeah, people pay their money, pay their hard money to just go to that stadium for experience, and it's sad. It is honestly sad.
And like you said,
look,
there's so many concerts than that. I mean, I've heard of so many, man. Like
There's more concerts than there's more concerts than football matches. That stadium is not a football stadium. There's more concerts. I'm going to say it again. There's more concerts at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than football matches.
That's not
Tell
true,
me
man.
that.
No, Beyonce was there for a week. Beyonce was
If
there
you're
for a week.
talking about
Chris Brown was there,
figuratively,
50 Cent was
maybe,
there,
yeah.
Mary J. Blige was there.
Ilias, I can't tell you what I do, but I promise you, there's going to be way more. Obviously, Haz knows and Eugene knows, and those in the know that know, innit? Those in the know that know, innit? Yeah,
I don't
in the
think
know
that
that know.
I think that's a very sidetracking sort of an issue. Like if your stadium, that's my problem with it. Actually, whenever this topic is brought up, like Beyonce and all that,
Go for it.
I think that's a really non-footballing issue, because whatever the stadium is being used for other than your football matches is regardless. It has nothing to do with your
But it doesn't focus on football. No, see, that's the problem.
Because
if you're go for it. Sorry, so go for it. Go for it.
Sorry, if your club is using the stadium as a footballing venue on the weekdays, I think it's fulfilling its purpose there already. But if they're using that on other days to like generate a side income or sort of thing, I think that there's nothing wrong with it. Like I don't get it. Like why sometimes we go into that topic.
All right, Ilias, can I say something? So you've just said if they're using, I'm going to use your words.
Okay.
If they're using the ground to generate revenue outside of football, where is football benefiting from it? We're not signing the best players. We don't have the money. According to Eugene earlier, we don't have the money. We're not going to be spending 100 million for Belieber and Wharton. Answer that, my friend. We moved into the stadium. I'm going to quote it.
I agree.
Okay.
Where is that money going? That's a separate thing. Like, okay, if they are doing that, then where is that money going? Okay, that's a fair comment to make. But I think whenever this conversation is brought up, like, why are we doing the concerts and all that? I mean, like, it's regardless of the point. Like, no matter what, your stadium can be used for other things. Like, would you rather not have those things as well, and then be in a worse state?
I rather them focus that. I rather my stadium be known for football than NFL, than concerts, than rugby, than the F1. Because let's be honest here, most people that go to the Tottenham Stadium don't know Tottenham Stadium is a football stadium. They know it as a stadium. It don't benefit Tottenham.
Really, but it's called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
They're not there for football. They're not there for football. I worked last week. Nobody knows. You ask any of them fans, name 2 players on Tottenham. Besides Son, they're not going to know who.
They are going there for a different event, of course.
My point is this: it's not benefiting football because we're still not spending the money. We've moved into the stadium for it to benefit football, right? It was a football stadium, right?
Of course, it's a football stadium, but if a football stadium is hosting other events, it doesn't mean that the audience of those other events must know that yes, that's a football stadium. I mean, if somebody's going there for a Beyonce concert or like that, I think there's nothing wrong with it. That they know that stadium for like multi-purpose events.
But what was the reason we moved into the stadium?
Property development.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely one other thing was to actually have your match day revenue, and you can actually host more fans in that stadium, because I think the capacity of White Hart Lane was much lower. So in that way, the stadium is fulfilling that purpose. Like, okay, you have a bigger capacity, and you can actually host a lot more fans for the football games. But if on the other days the stadium is being used for other events and other things, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, guys. Like, I honestly find this conversation a little bit off track, because I think this is really not a Tottenham Hotspur related.
Elias, I think what TJ means. I don't think what TJ means there's something wrong of actually holding the events there. TJ is saying something like, with the events there and all that, right?
It's not
The
benefiting.
Yeah, the
It's not
generated
benefiting
income,
Tottenham.
right, it has not benefited the football side of everything. We all understand that, TJ. We all understand that. We've always been saying it for the past 5 years, right? Levy Land, right? Entertainment complex, right? And all that. And of course, Levy comes up with his all his interviews and all that, saying that, you know, we put every penny that's made from all these events, we put it back into the team, right? And then I keep telling everyone, right? He didn't say the football team. He was talking about the property development team. Yeah, he did say the team, right? He didn't say the football team, right? Okay.
The problem is we were sold a dream, innit? This is the problem, innit? Yeah.
But you also know, and I think
until guys, hold on, until this summer transfer window, right? The stupid interview that he did with his, you know, that buddy with Vinay and all that. That's the first time I've heard Levy say that he wants to win something. And the thing that he wants to win is the highest accolade in football, the Premier League and the Champions League, right? I mean, for me,
this is how I look at it. This is my stance on it. This is my stance on it. We were sold a dream once we moved into the stadium because it hasn't benefited anything to do with football. Yeah. And on top of this, innit? Unlike, look, I live in Tottenham, innit? I live directly in the heart of Tottenham. In fact, sooner or later, I'm getting kicked out of this Tottenham. I'm getting moved out because of Daniel Levy's nonsense. There's other issues why I take the stance. It's not benefiting Tottenham. It's benefiting Levy's pocket.
Yeah, of course. It's always been that, right? The owners want to
go for it.
The owners have turned this into a property development project to gentrify the area of Tottenham, right? Like this is what all modern cities do. It's part of an evolution of a city, right?
Now the question is,
right?
The question I have.
And TJ, this is the problem is when the rich is trying to get richer, while they're trying to get richer, right? The poor or the average are being taken advantage of. And especially if you're a football fan, right? You always
tell me about it. I'm getting booted out of my flat. Tell me about it. Listen, I know what you're talking about because sooner or later, in the next, a year and a half, I'm going to get kicked out of my flat because of this stadium. So I know the effect of having a stadium at Tottenham because I've lived in Tottenham for all my life. I only know Tottenham. My question to you guys, in the next 10 years, do you think it's going to get better under this ownership? Or do you feel like greed? Because for me, look, the reason we moved in was to obviously, I look, maybe I was naive. I thought it would have been a great thing. We would have invested. We're so far behind all the other clubs. We're so far.
But TJ, that's what I told you, right? We didn't sign any players for 3 transfer windows. That made us regress, right? And we've been through it. We've seen it, right? And the thing is that, number one, this is just a football club, right? Every fan has got their levels of love and you know how they want to support, right? And no fan is wrong, right? If you're a fan, you're a fan, right? But you know, some fans do have multiple clubs that they support, but that's their prerogative, right? If you want to support 3 teams in the EPL, it's up to you. You get what I'm saying? No? But that is your style, right? But the problem is that being a true fan to be a true fan of a club, that only having one club, it doesn't matter whatever happens apart from that, right? Unless you talk about the national team, right? I'm from Malaysia. I don't support the Malaysian national team. Why? We never end up playing any international, the World Cup or anything like that, right? So I have to support England, right? And I've been saying England has been the Spurs, you know, the international Spurs, right? They've not won anything since the 1960s, you know? So it is what it is. But when you talk about life and you talk about football, and when you build a stadium, it affects the surroundings of it. Yeah, of course. And then you talk about, you know, being homeless, but it's the truth, right? You know who you work for. They will, of course, find you another place and won't make you homeless, right? Hopefully.
No, I think my point again is
go for it. Sorry, go for it. I want to hear your point. Sorry.
My point is actually I agree that yes, the money from the stadium may or may not be going into the team. We don't know actually. I mean, even if you look at the books of Tottenham, actually they are very vague when you look at it, like the financial report that they always release. Like you can't for a fact say like, okay, they generated a profit, for example, on the Beyonce concert, because again, a lot of these concerts and all that, they have their own costs as well. So if they are earning money on it as well, I think again, a lot of times they are like sponsorships involved, they are like your collaborations involved as well. It may not mean that definitely the direct money that's coming into the club is going into your first team. You also never know that whether is that particular concert is run under Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, or and I think also now
Yeah, I know. I've been saying that before, Elias, right? Like, let's say, like,
Can I ask you a
do-
question? Can I add a little bit? Sorry, can I add a little bit? You said something
I'm
really
not done with
important.
it, by the way, yet. I'm not done with it yet, to be fair.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
cool.
go ahead.
Carry on.
So it's a very vague situation. So whenever this topic is brought up, I think it sounds like actually what the management or the leadership is doing there when they hold these concerts. I don't think the concerts or the events are a problem. They are not a problem. The problem is that where the money is going, but which none of us know actually, whether the money that's coming out of those things is going to the club or not. That's really the bigger problem.
Yeah,
Having the
yeah.
concert is not a problem in my opinion, but I think
Alright.
often the way we fans sometimes make it out like that, why are they holding concerts and why the money is not coming in, like why the signings are not happening. I think the concerts are not a problem. The money is the problem. Where's the money going?
Yeah, TJ, stop using your like.
No. Basically, I was just gonna say something, you know. So, I was gonna say, so us going into this new stadium, was you one of the fans that believed that this would benefit football?
No,
No.
didn't.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Okay, cool. That's where we differ in opinion. Because
Oh, no,
for
no,
me,
I was.
moving into
I mean, okay, I will give you a bit of a leeway. I did believe in certain things. Okay, certain things that I did believe was okay. Definitely, you have a bigger stadium, meaning bigger capacity. For instance,
Yeah.
right,
bigger
so
capacity
more
means that
revenue,
you have
right?
a bigger atmosphere. In order to become a bigger club as well, in some ways as well, if you look at
Yeah.
the other clubs, except the likes of Chelsea, I think all those had, even I think the Stamford Bridge was bigger than the Lane as well at that time, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
we needed a bigger stadium, definitely. So that was just the main expectation. Okay, a bigger stadium, slightly more
So
pride
more in
in
revenue.
that's it. Like
Right.
aesthetic value.
Cool. Haz, what about yourself? When I'm going to ask the same question I asked Elias.
Yeah.
When we moved into the stadium, was your understandings that this stadium would have benefited football?
No, well, that's what they told us, but I didn't believe it. That's the difference, I guess.
So
Yeah.
see,
Like-
that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
My point is this: they told us this. They told us it's for football. They told us it's for football. My concern, listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm shameless, innit? I'm only moving like this because it's a good debate. I like to play devil's advocate. Deep down, Eugene, I love them events. I eat. You know what I'm talking about? I eat when the events are on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
We know.
I eat. So
Yeah.
I'm only playing this take based on what I see. But generally, we were sold a dream. We were definitely sold a dream.
Of course we are.
Of course, we were sold a dream, but I think again, you can't.
We're still being sold the dream.
Exactly.
Right now.
Like what Levy said. Did you believe Levy when he said that we actually want to win the Champions League and the Premier
No,
League?
I
So
didn't.
you
I
believe
thought
it?
it
Of course not. It's all bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
of course.
gaslighting.
But let's-
It's just gaslighting. It's gaslighting the fan base. That's all it is.
Scott believed.
But guys,
believed it,
I mean,
Yeah, of course it is.
here, let me come in and defend Levy, but not defend Levy. But again, we talked about earlier. If we fixed our transfer strategy, if we had who we had, the stadium would be making a difference, right? Like if we had properly run our football operations, we can spend more with this stadium than we could under White Hart Lane. And we do spend more than we did back then. The problem is that we didn't adapt our football. Like if you look, and I'm going to use Conte as an example just because he's easy to use. When he went to Napoli, he didn't spend 500 million on players. He bought the exact players that he wanted, and a lot of them were cheap. But what we wouldn't do as a football team when we brought in Antonio Conte wasn't just we didn't spend money for him. We didn't buy the players he wanted. And that's what you have to do if you bring in Conte. So if you don't want to do it, fair enough, don't bring in Conte. So I think if we had properly we brought in Paul Mitchell. Pretend Paul Mitchell never worked with us.
Yeah.
We bring in Paul or Michael Edwards, okay? The guy at Liverpool and was at Newcastle. If we bring in Michael Edwards and Levy says, Michael Edwards, you're in charge of football, go buy the players you need to do, then the stadium would be helping improve us. It would. It brings in more money than we did at White Hart Lane. It would help us. So the problem isn't necessarily that we built this stadium and we're not getting the benefit. We are getting benefit from the stadium. The problem is we're wasting that benefit by our stupid way that we run football. By not letting football people make decisions.
And ultimately, we've all come to the conclusion, we've said it in our own little way, Levy needs to step down.
Yeah.
But he won't. He won't, because this summer was his reaction to the protests. Really, I know we said the protests weren't successful, like in getting him out. In a sense,
the protests won us the Europa Cup, right, guys? Just remember that the protests won us the Europa Cup.
The Vinay interview was a kind of like a gaslighting, try and get fans on side, saying this guy's got ambition.
And I think he had to justify the sacking of Ange as well.
The interview on the overlap was also another way, because he was saying, "Oh, I don't get involved in picking the players and all this crap." He was trying to, and again, another PR stunt, really, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to win back the fans. That's basically what it's a PR exercise. These were the
he lied, Harry. He lied. Remember, he was directly involved in signing Jet Spence.
He went and signed him on his own, didn't he?
Well, Matthias Tell, he went to Bayern to do the negotiations.
And I don't get involved in signing the players. What a liar!
And Richarlison.
Well, I think maybe what he's trying to. Sorry. I think what he was trying to say probably is that he is not involved in like choosing who he signs. He's definitely involved in like making those deals and like the finances when it comes to. But
the thing is that you don't say you're not involved in choosing who you sign when you go all the way to talk to the player, right? Why?
No, but did he went to talk to the player? I thought he went.
He went to talk to Tell. Yeah, he dealt with Tell.
He spoke to Tell, didn't he? Yeah.
No, he didn't talk to Tell. It was Ange who spoke to Tell, because he said
he flew over.
He went first, over to talk to Tell, and Tell said no.
He flew over to Bayern. Yeah. He flew over.
After Ange spoke to Tell, then Tell came, right? And that's the biggest regret I think we all the Spurs fans are saying now. But all I'm saying is that if we come back to the same old square, we do the same thing over and over the same summer transfer window, hoping that something changed, right? To tell the truth, right? If Levy really changed, right, he would have sacked Ange. That would have proved that he has changed. But he hasn't changed. You get what I'm saying? He's gone back to the same thing again.
This is why I said these two things: the overlap interview and the Vinay thing, because he brought in Vinay to try and get fans on side. That's what I think. They're both a PR exercise, because it's a reaction to the protests last season. Because even though we didn't have the numbers, he clearly saw some effect. It was some sort of negative effect on him. Like he must have felt something or whatever. So this was just a reaction to the protests, and that's how I saw that.
I've got another question. Sorry, it's a very interesting conversation. Sorry if I offend anybody as well in it, but now we saw the effect of, as you said, the effect of the protest, and in that sense, it was successful because, as Eugene said, we won the Europa League, but because of the protests, isn't it? I'm just using his words literally. I don't actually mean it.
I don't know if I would agree.
Why is this? Yeah, no. I'm only joking. I'm only joking based on that. That wasn't a true actual fact, isn't it? But why is it? Why is it? There's still a big majority of the fan base that still end up still are supporting Levy. You know, why is it that there's a lot of the fan base that are not willing to protest? Why is it that, like, we've mentioned so many things in it where even if you're going to quote it on, we lied about moving into the stage and what the real reason was for, because that's what he showed. That's what he said to all. He said it to all of us. The reason we're moving in, it's going to better football. That's my point. My point is that whether it was to better his pocket, who knows? Who cares? Innit? But what I'm trying to say, there's so many red flags that Levy has shown over the last 25 years.
Of course, yes.
Why is there still a big majority that will still support Levy? What's
Because
the reason?
Our fans are just not. You look at Arsenal, you look at United, you look at Chelsea, you look at.
It's because right, Levy has cornered a niche fan base, right, that doesn't have ambition. They're all just there for the bling. Yes, that's right. It's all about the bling, you know. It's like being a celebrity if you're a Spurs fan. It's all there for the bling. Status and all that. The trophies don't matter, bro. Top 4, right? The league is your bread and butter, not the trophies, right? So you get brainwashed. You go into this kind of scenario. But when we come back to Daniel Levy, we all know what he's been doing for 25 years.
Bear in mind, TJ, I was Levy in for like 10 years. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that.
For like till 2012. But for me,
I think because he liked on crack, bro.
But I think another problem, Eugene, also is our fan base.
What I'm trying to explain is what the thinking is. What turned me against Levy was the Zaha Nelson window in January 2012 because he said we easily could have challenged the title. Yeah, but he went and bought 2 free transfers, and because Renat was like, we need 2 top players, 1 top centre back and 1 top striker, and we could do something. That's what he said. And then Levy, even though we made the Champions League the season before, and he said we needed to make the Champions League to buy better players, he went and bought 2 free transfers. So to me, that was him lying to me, like I guess, right, or lying to the fan base. But it was before social media was such a big thing. Before Twitter was like really big. This is 2012. So. But in the beginning, I believed it because, he said we would make the Champions League, and we did. So, but some people turned later on with the stadium. Maybe they turned because of the stadium. But still, it's not enough people.
I turned when Poch got sacked.
Yeah, everyone had a turning point. Yeah.
But there's still people out there that are still supporting it. This is what I don't understand.
It's because what you just said. It's status. It's status. They don't want to seem like a bad fan. Because if they criticize the club or the owner or Levy because he's the chairman, it seems like a bad fan on Twitter.
I think we also
screens. Yeah, that's how it is. It's all status. You don't want to seem like a bad fan, a toxic.
There's also, I think, the majority of fans are actually not Levy in or Levy out. They're Levy don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. That's the majority. And because we are Levy out and we want to see change, the reality is those fans that don't care really either way, they kind of are not against us, but for us, it's like, what are you not doing, right? Because we want change. So if you're Levy don't care, well, you're not pushing for change. You don't help get change, so you are effectively Levy in. But I think the reality is if you look at it, whatever the numbers are, 15% Levy out, 15% Levy in, 70% don't care enough about it. And that's that's why it seems like there's so many Levy in as you're using that. TJ, is because there's so many fans that they don't care. They don't, and it doesn't. I'm not saying they're worse fans or lesser fans. They just want to go and watch football and have a beer and hang out with their friends, and that's enough for them. They're not. We
saw it.
Worked up about who the owner is. They don't know that much about.
But you know what? You know what? You said something really key. Me and Haz saw it in front of our eyes while we were protesting. We saw it. There's so many fans there for just the moment. That's the biggest problem. Until our fan unite, we will never become the big club that we want to become. Sadly, we have to all unite under this one banner.
And the problem there, TJ, is you see, like you and Haz, you guys will go every protest, no matter what. How many fans? And it's easy for me to criticize sitting in Canada. I can't go to the protests. I can't organize it. But the problem is we win one game, right? We're all protesting. Hey, we want Levy out. We want Levy out. 3-0 Sunday against United. Hey, Levy. Protest done. And it's that easy. We win one game and the protests are done. And I said, we should be protesting as much as when we're in the day of the final, there should be protests. I mean, I know people don't like it, but we can't protest because we're doing something good. No, you need to show that we're protesting every time so that one little thing doesn't stop all the momentum. But that's the reality, right? All protests are done.
No, Scott, I understand. right? It has to be consistent. The protest has to be consistent. But the problem is that we don't have enough fans who actually want to
Well,
make
yeah,
it
because
consistent.
the fans.
Yeah, right. And then if you say you're going to do it in the finals, right, then the visuals look bad on those fans who did it, right? And then if you lose, right, then you're going to get blamed for it. You know what I'm saying? There's a human nature. You understand?
I know, and it's easy for me. I would be there protesting. I'll take the visuals look terrible but that's it. Because otherwise, like, I don't know what you can tell me the game, TJ, because I know you were there. Where was the game where we had 2,000, the big one, the 2,000 fans, right? Was that the United game?
Was it Palace?
The one protest
Palace.
Changed for Tottenham, the big fans, whatever game it was.
Change for Tottenham, right? Had two protests that were big. The first one, remember, we did the protest watch along, and the second one, we were there.
And I remember you missed that one.
When they did the third one, it's when we reached the semi-finals, right? Yep, it went back to the square one again. Like, you know,
that's the problem. We were doing terribly in the league, so we can bring people out. We win 3 games in a row, the protest is dead.
Yeah. No, but Scott, we know that, right? That is the. Scott,
and I'm not blaming the organizers. I'm blaming our fans because they don't want it.
Yeah. Scott, we've been doing this for 5 years, right? We've seen the Daigle protest, the Style protest. I've been doing protest alongs for so long. I know the history of the
I've been to a protest. Right? I'll tell you a personal experience, which made me so embarrassed. This was during the Tottenham. We at Tottenham TV done a protest when we were going into this. When we were going into the Super League. Honest to God, I really considered not going to a single protest after that moment. Generally, there was literally 15 fans protesting. We had Sky Sports. We had Sky Sports there, and you saw other clubs across the globe. You had Arsenal; they maxed out the Emirates. You had, I think, Chelsea; they maxed out. Like, we're the only fan base that are not serious about change, really and truly.
We're not.
We're not. Let's be so honest with it. We're not. We have to be honest with it, right? But guys, right? I have to make a move soon, right?
It's almost. I'm gonna finish up. Almost 3 hours been going somehow. So guys, do you want to shout out your stuff before I close it off? Elias, are you back streaming or whatever, or you just guess nowadays? That
I've been thinking about it for a long time, but I'm like, nah, screw it, man. Like especially like what we guys have been discussing. I mean, I don't find the motivation anymore, I would say, to like stream or like even come on YouTube. Sometimes I would say like a lot of it's just I don't know.
Just go and enjoy your life, Elias. It's just
that's what I mean. Like there are more important things in life than streaming
being Frank out or Ange out, or Olivia
shouting at
right?
TV, Frank or Conte or whatever. Like, I mean, I just.
But like, if you want to come on, I mean, just message me or YouTube, whatever, and we'll just send you the link.
Yeah. If I were like I'm free. Like even today, I could only come on because I had I'm clearing my leaves this week. So I had
that's fine.
So
but Scott disappeared. But
if ever I find
Elias, by the way, Elias, big up yourself, man. I know we got into a heated debate. No offense taken. I'm sorry if I offended you. Yeah, no. Listen, I'm a prickly person. I'll be so honest with you. I have a lot of haters and I have a lot of lovers, innit? But
you're not a prickly person. You're a naked person.
I'm a naked person, man.
It was a very respectful dialogue. I don't even think that it was like an argument or a debate.
No, I just like to mention it. No, I like to mention it because people take my my negativity and my hate, or it's not even hate. I don't know. No, it is hate. I hate Levy. Let me be so honest with you. I hate him. I hate him. The amount of stress he's caused me in my life, top tier. I hate him. But look, I'm like you as well, man. I'm not streaming that much anymore, innit? Because it's just all long, innit? I feel like it's the same. It's like nothing changes.
Because you're doing OnlyFans, is that why? Is it because you're doing OnlyFans?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, guys, one nitpick. My PayPal details is in the description.
I'm no longer Levy. I'm out, actually.
Yeah, no. But look, again, you guys can subscribe to my channel into Spurs. And I'm also on here every weekend, in fact. I've been doing this with you guys for the last good solid 3-4 years now. No, it's been longer than that, my bro. Yeah, it's been longer than that.
I only started in 2022. I only started my channel in 2022, so it must be like 2 years, maybe 3.
It has to be longer, bro. It feels like it's been longer, man.
I know.
I started
Yeah.
And Eugene, we're streaming from your channel anyway, but go subscribe to Spurs Vision TV.
Yeah, Spurs Vision TV. I'll be most probably doing the Super Cup watch along from the Mamak stall. I'm not sure whether there'll be a lot of Spurs fans coming up to watch that game, but let's hope so. Right? Yeah.
I mean, our Malaysian Spurs community is also a bit very dry and very
true, right? They turn up in droves for the final, and we won. Okay. We saw how the scenes were there. I was there doing the live watch along there. Right? This is a Super Cup final. Let's see, we all turn up again, right? And then let's have a good show for the fans. From my watch along, right? And I'm gonna arrange it with Jens for him to run the back room while I do it, right? From the Mamak stall, right? It'll be Thursday morning, 3 a.m. in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken.
3 a.m. Oh my god, you guys are...
Hell no, I'm not doing anything. I got to work next day. I'm not gonna even watch the game.
No, but it's 3 Yeah, it's 8 p.m. kickoff, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Yeah, our time.
Can I be honest with you guys? For the Europa League final, I only watched like last 20 minutes or so of the game.
No way, you missed it.
I didn't watch.
You missed the amazing goal that Brendan Johnson hit off.
Yeah. I'd rather miss that. I'd rather miss that goal, which even he didn't score. To be fair.
And Scott, I know you did. Are you next on Tottenham away or anything, or like?
No, I don't think I'm allowed on Tottenham away anymore, but we can talk about that behind us.
I didn't know about that.
I don't
really?
know. I'll be around.
All right, okay. We're going to end the show quickly so we can find out what happened.
Yeah, a lot of gossip.
Hey guys, yeah, and Harry will be back, right? Next Friday, right? Hopefully, right?
Yeah. Talking about another loss, probably not. Please subscribe.
Wait, can I before you end off? If we win against PSG, Elijah, you guys trust me. I'm gonna walk up Tottenham High Road naked.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
If there is a slim chance. If there's a slim chance, remember I was the only fan that said we could win the Europa League. Remember? Do you remember that I said we had to believe?
Yeah, I was totally deluded, right? Don't forget, right? After
I had to convince you guys. It was so hard to convince. I was like, just believe in the process. So I'm doing the same thing, and I'm believing that we'll win.
And then if you win, right, then you're gonna walk naked down the high street.
Yeah.
Is it High Road, right? High Road.
High Road. Have you ever been to the Tottenham Stadium before?
No. Plan to go one day.
You need to come over, man.
I may not be allowed, by the way, given how bad my reputation is among the Spurs community.
No, you're fine, man.
Including the boardroom.
All right, guys. Let's end the stream and let's find out what's going on. Right. All right. And as always, leave me out, guys.
Leave me out.
Leave you out.
Leave you out.